Somewhere deep in the United Kingdom live two boys that know all the answers to absolutely nothing. So strap yourselves in because it's about to get weird. You're now listening to the Lemon Squeezers Podcast.
Bonjour, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Lemon Squeezers Podcast. Oh, wow. The best, worst comedy podcast in the motherfucking world.
It does get better. Probably not, maybe.
Well, it's getting better today. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back in shot.
Come on.
It's getting much better because we've got a pretty decent guest right now.
We do.
You're building me up too much, lad. You're building me up too much already. You never know. This could get really weird really quick.
Yeah, do you know what? We mention this sometimes about, like, imagine we get someone on and, like, they're just proper fucking strange.
That's going to happen today, lad. Yeah. It's going to happen today. But on that note, I might as well just start with a gift. Wait, quickly, before we give up. This is John, ladies and gentlemen. This is John, and John is the cameraman for the Sidemen. I am indeed.
He is.
One of I think there's three of us. We've got a guy. The main guy's called Con. I don't know how much your audience knows the Sidemen, but the main guy's called Con. He's like the director cameraman, and then I'm more the main camera operator at this point. So if you see like the memey little crash zooms, bang.
That's Big Bad John.
Nice. Yeah. So that's been about 2 years now as well. So it's just
pretty decent.
Yeah. It's been a weird time.
That's your ideal job.
Oh yeah.
In school, people, like this guy was a YouTube mad. Like, used to like it at one point, as far as I remember, and you started making stuff for YouTube, and now you're a cameraman for one of the biggest UK YouTubers, if not in the top 10, probably in the world. Right?
Oh, it's still like a dream to me. It's quite obscene.
Zoom out a bit on that. Is it?
I don't know how it quite happened. Like, a lot of it's luck. A lot of it's just graft. Like, once you get an opportunity like that, you just don't let it go. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to full send it. But no, when I was in school, mate, I was definitely invested. I don't know if anyone remembers this. I try and tell people this story all the time, but they never seem to remember. At one point, back when we were in like year 8, year 9, like, YouTube had a counter on your channel where it showed you how many videos you'd watched. And already at year 8 or year 9, I had over 50,000 videos like watched.
Bloody hell.
Because, mate, that's all I cared about. I just liked that it was so random what you would get, and you could just absorb information, and then you meet people, and then you could just bring up this topic. You're like, oh yeah, I saw that at 4 a.m. I know about wormholes.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. I actually watch YouTube pretty much all day, every day. But I mean, I don't necessarily get into it for comedy content as such. I do have that little bit, but especially for learning. I feel like I've grown the most by being heavily involved with YouTube. Oh yeah, mate. After
the most interesting conversations I couldn't have had unless, like, I'd seen a video at some random point and just someone off the cuff mentions it and no one knows what they're talking about, but they're a fairly interesting person, and then you just get to engage with them on that quite, like, niche topic. Yeah. But yeah, some of it is definitely too weird, and then sometimes I'm not happy to bring up that I know that, like, you know. Yeah. Oh no, I know about anal douching. Yeah, sure. I know loads about that.
I know how to build big huts in the middle of the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, we're saying there's probably a town where there's just hundreds of these abandoned huts. If you walk through, you'd be like, who the fuck lives here?
Well, I think I know the channel that you're referring to. There's like two main ones, and they did get found out for, like, basically ruining the area. Primitive Technology, I think the channel's called. Basically, all them huts and shit they built they weren't allowed to do it, and they've just left loads of cement. It was found out they were doing it in dodgy ways. All the time lapses that you saw would be at the end of it. So, mate, the movie magic. It's ruined, lads. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I always thought as well, like, this geezer look like part of the thing that you like about it is the fact that this geezer looks like he makes no money. Yeah, like, he looks like just a standard geezer from wherever in the world he's from, and you're like, oh, well, that's so amazing. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking, with that many views, he must be
mate, he could have raking a village. He could have 10 villages,
mate, and the views as well. Like, all the views are like 20 million because
it's weirdly satisfying.
Yeah. Because you can just sit there and kind of mong out to it, but in some ways you're just like, oh, that would be useful just in case I need to. Definitely, that'll come up at some point.
Having an underground swimming pool with a slide is probably exactly what I need when I have this.
Imagine, like, going on one of those programs. You know, what's the one that they do in America now, where they take them out and it's basically who can survive out there for the longest.
Naked and Afraid?
No, that's another one of my favourites. But no, it's like Alone. It's called.
Yes,
Alone.
yes. And there's a guy who was on Joe Rogan, talking about it.
That's it. Yeah. And he was like one of the better ones. Like, killed the moose and that. But imagine that. It's like you just go on there. You're like, I know exactly what to do here.
Yeah.
And then like comes back to you in 3 months' time, you've got like this underground cave,
That's it.
a load of women.
Like, you've even got like the paintings on the wall and that, and candle-lit little holes cut out and anything. But like, what I don't understand about that, like, why bother with a swimming pool every single time if you've got to carry that much water with a small bowl?
Let's face it, if you actually were in a survival situation, you ain't building an underground pool, are you? It's just to show you the extent of what they could do. But again, I think the main one, the one that channel that you're talking about that does all the underground shit, is the one that got found out, because when they did, someone basically flew a drone over that area. Yeah. And you could see all the bags and cement and other shit where they were saying they were making out like clay and all these things. Basically, there was a big reveal. But I think at that point, can you swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
At that point, they'd fucked off with money anyway, so they don't give a shit. I think it was even in Australia, but they were like Indonesian fellas.
Legend.
I love that.
Legend.
Can you swear on this podcast? We're always like going to each other like, we need to stop swearing. Like we swear too much, but we just can't stop.
Yeah.
it.
Well, is it for YouTube? Yeah. Like so for YouTube, for like clips or anything, don't swear in the first minute. That's one of the little hot tips.
I always thought this as well because like you're obviously going to know a lot more than we do, but like I noticed with KSI and like things like that, he'll say like the C word. I don't even say that. Like
so C word is bad. C word will get you in big trouble or can get demonetization. But as far as I don't really make my own content, so I don't really pry too much into that side of the metrics and whatever, and how much viewership and retention and whatever where YouTube puts it. But as far as I'm aware, and I've heard this multiple times, when I hear them giving other YouTubers tips, is don't swear in the first minute.
Okay.
The C word, try and avoid the C word as much as possible.
See, I wasn't sure, like, can you say it or like, does he just not give a shit? Because I mean, if he loses the like monetization on one video, it ain't really gonna matter, is it?
Well, they've got I don't know if they've got Side Plus now, which is so
they've
on
got Side everything.
They've
got a whole franchise going.
See that, mate? It's been mad because I've known about a few of these things coming out.
Side
before.
gaming, Side reaction, Side.
Oh yeah, they've got sides. They've got the food now. They've got Sidemen vodka. And then Side Plus, which is like a paywall thing with
Sidemen vodka.
Yeah, Sidemen vodka.
What's the link with as random as that?
So it's called XIX vodka, and it's actually like I'm not to be an arse lick. They had a big launch party for it all, and it's actually premium vodka, 5 times distilled. And mate, I was having it out of a nice little Pokemon luge.
I saw Gyarados in it.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, everyone was bad at that thing, but mate, it's good. It tastes good. Like they actually. So what normally influencers do is when they get like the chance to brand something or put something out and sell it, they'll buy an already existing thing and then they will just slap their name on it, right? Yeah. But what they did is they went and did the market research, and I know this because after shoots sometimes they'd have the people come in with the shit and they would sit there and they'd try it and sample it and all that. So they actually put a long amount of time into making sure it was good, making sure that they wanted to do it, and they're not trying to just be like, I don't know, compete with lower end brands. I'm trying to think of a small vodka brand that you just buy for £6 behind the till. I can't really think of one right now. But they're more aiming Glenn, something like that. But they're more trying to aim it at like the Ciroc level and stuff like that, because they actually want it to taste good. They want people to bring it out on the buckets, doing the whole with the flares and all that.
And I can sort of see them do that because I've been watching them like consistently since being in school as well. Like not obviously not the Sidemen together, they didn't start that early, but like KSI, and then like you fall into the other ones like Zerka and whatever. But what was I just saying? What were you just saying? Vodka. Jog me memory again.
Research.
You've been watching them for a long time.
I mean, if this fella don't know, we don't know.
Come on, mate.
Come on. I'll keep on doing this. Right, we was talking about vodka. We was talking about research. Shit.
You've been watching him since.
Yeah. Right, so like saying that they want to make it the big brand. They've done such a good job with losing the stick of being these nerdy gamers. Do you know what I mean? Like that's like something like they've done so well, and like you got to like look at it like fucking hell. Like if you look at their old videos, even by the way they looked like back in the day, obviously like if you looked at us, and if you looked at us when we was like 15, the shit that we thought we looked good in, we looked mental. Yeah, but theirs is documented, isn't it? So,
mate, I've always said like to people when they talk about or ask me about them, they are as much entrepreneurs as they are entertainers. Like they have that mindset. Like they're always talking about things and the way they plan things out. Even the way they plan the content out, like is just mental. Just how business-like they actually are in all of it. So that's where it's come from. One interesting point I thought I'd make though, which people always find funny, is You know, you said you watched them.
Yeah.
I never watched them before I started working for them.
See, I'm fairly new. I'm fairly new.
Yeah. I had no idea. Like I knew KSI was. Like, I'm into YouTube, so he's kind of comes along with like the whole lore of you. He's like a face to know. Like
he seems like a genuinely very nice person.
Oh yeah,
it's very welcome to YouTube. Like, you cannot hate the fella in any way. Like,
oh mate, he's earnest. He's himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mate, you can't hate on it, mate. And he's been nothing but lovely to me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, honestly, like as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any.
You think of the back now.
I'm trying. I was thinking. I don't have any juicy gossip about any negative things.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't stick you under that thing anyway.
No.
But
Clips,
in a more
fellas, clips. Come on.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to it, John. No, but I do listen to the What's Good podcast.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I noticed, and there was one episode with you on there. I think that's the first time I've heard your voice since we left school, probably probably maybe about 17 or something like that.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but
maybe even longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's about the same. About like 18. Last time I saw you, we went to someone's house. I think that was the last time I saw you. I don't want to stop. Names.
That
was the last time I saw you.
Go on, drop some names. Go on.
Errol's house.
Oh yeah, could be. Could be.
I didn't want to start fronting. I just remember going to
Errol's house.
Yeah, I had to know. It was too vague. I was like, there's a lot of people's houses.
Yeah,
it was barely 18, and that was it. And then that was, yeah. I think that was the last time I saw you.
Yeah, my mind, like, I'll be frank, I didn't really enjoy school, like at all. Like again, I'd always been in my head too much, and I'd always been quite anxious, and I'd like not. Basically, I felt like I fucked up every social situation I was in because I was always overthinking how you're meant to act or whatever. So after school, I was just eager to like just basically get away as soon as I could and just kind of just form whatever new form of personality that I could.
John,
go on.
So I just thought, do you remember? I don't know.
Fuck! I knew this would happen.
No, do you remember when we was in the form room and I remember our form teacher, Miss Davison, screaming at us. I just threw. You told me to. That's what it was. You told me to throw. It was like this big ball of felt or something like that. And you was like, throw it out the window. And I threw it out. And
why would you listen to me? Of all people?
I don't know. I must have thought like, yeah, that's bad. Throw it out. And I just remember her screaming and going, you should be on behaviour report. And then she looked at you and went, and you should be on animal report. Do you remember
mate, honestly, sincerely, I've blanked so much of it out.
Oh,
like everything at school, it was. I just think of it as like. So I reflected on it, and I was weird. Like that was.
I don't remember you being weird.
I personally think that's paranoia. The vibe. You was hyper, but in actually not an annoying way. You was a genuinely nice fellow when you left school.
See, that's the thing. But that's part of the problem, right? Is that I was so in my head that I couldn't like get past it, in a sense. But
you're basically you're introverted.
Yeah.
But when it comes to social action, you naturally go extroverted, which is exhausting. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, in a sense. And like when it came to like, I knew that when I got out of school, I could become more relaxed and kind of like try and peel all that back because by the point you've already built up a being reputation. Let's say hyper. Yeah. Like let's say hyper, and maybe you want to be known as a bit more chilled out. You can't really just walk in and be like. I'm chilled out now. I'm really relaxed now. Don't worry, it's all changed.
I think that's paranoia. I've never had. I've always, to a certain degree, I don't care. If I'm going to be what I want to be, I'm just going to be that.
Yeah, no, but not everyone has that in their head. Like it's the same with anything. Like some people who go to probably a majority of people who like work out loads. The ones with the best bodies, they've got this thing in their head where they don't have the best bodies. They don't see themselves the way that we're seeing them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like it's the same similar sort of thing. You're thinking you're being weird. Like I do not think of you when I think of us in school. I do not think of you as being a weird person at all.
I've got no negative thing to say.
Mate, honestly,
if I someone I ain't spoke to in years and go, oh, do you remember John Mason? Be like, oh, nice fella. Like I remembered you as a nice fella.
Maybe they're not remembering everything correctly. No, mate, no, honestly, that's nice to hear. And
everyone gets skeletons in their closet, but generally, what you gave off was great. Like, I don't remember a bad John. I don't.
Oh, this is all new. This is all good now. I'm gonna go take a few names off my hate list. This is really interesting.
We're all going to end up snogging in a minute.
No, but it's to be fair though,
That's why there's a gun in there.
This is it, mate. Live. It's live, right? Yeah. Because otherwise it's gonna be ruined. I'm not gonna upload it. No, what is it? Yeah, no. But in a sense though, I'm happy that I had like the kind of idea that I'd built up of myself. Because after school, I was like, right, I'm just really gonna try and like it propelled me on. Whatever I've gone on to do, or how hungry I've been to do whatever people perceive as being like interesting or good, is because I was like, right, I've had a bit of a stinker. I want to like turn it around a bit. And even if that perception's wrong, hearing it from you guys, even if it's wrong, you know, it still got me to that point. I did chill out. Mate. To be honest, I had like I went to Australia. So I lived in Australia for about a year with my now fiance. And
congratulations!
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. 8 years. What is it? There was this guy there that I ended up who was like kind of a part of my friend group when we was about 18. And weirdly in my head, I hadn't seen him in like 5 years. And in my head, like what it was I thought in some way, being brutally honest, that I was cooler than him or something. I don't know. Like I thought I was above him in some way because, again, being quite anxious, what I perceived as being a hierarchy at school was like important, and I had my place in it, and other people had theirs, and then I'd have feelings based upon that. And then, so when I got to Australia, I put something on Snapchat, and this dude messaged me going, "Oh, I'm in Australia too. I'm in Melbourne." Like he recognised it. It was so mad because it was like a 3-second clip. He somehow recognised part of a bridge. I was like, "I know where that is. You should come stay at my house." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we're going. Why the hell not?" And I got there.
You're staying at people's houses.
That's the start of a murder story.
Mate, I lived when I was in Australia. Me and my fiance, we lived in a car for like 4 months. We drove 7,000 miles, mate. I was doing. You ever heard of couch surf?
No.
Couch surf's an app where people list that they've got a couch or like whatever you can stay on.
Right, yeah.
And you can just go, yeah, I'll come around. And so we did that. We did that loads, like just to see what the hell would happen.
You genuinely are a very free spirit, aren't you? Like,
mate, I'm just.
it takes a character to live in a car for 4 months, like.
So yeah, mate,
and just to move away to Australia, like.
Oh yeah, mate.
Not just Europe.
So that was like a secondary. Like that's when like I'd say that things like it was around when I was 23. I'd graduated from doing a business and economics degree, and I literally the day that I graduated, I was like in my room. And it was like 3 a.m. because we'd all been out drinking. And I literally was just like, why the fuck have I done a business and economics degree? Yeah. I had no idea why the hell I'd done it. And then I worked for a software sales company. And literally, man, I was just getting like fat and depressed. And I was just going out and I was being a bit... it was
more negative time of your life, right?
Yeah. I was doing things that weren't exactly savoury, or you can't say on a podcast. Let's put it that way. And then, mate, I was being devilish. I'll put it that way. I was being devilish. And then,
in like a good time way.
I was having a good time. Yeah, I was having a real good time.
Then congratulations again for that.
But in like the short term sense, you know, like you know, like when like you go drink and they say when you're hungover, you borrowed happiness from the next day, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So at some point, I literally was just like, "Fuck this! I'm just leaving." I just took all my life savings and literally just moved over there and was just like, "Whatever's going to happen."
What did your mum and dad say?
Well, that was another thing because at that point, so this is really interesting because I was basically I'd never known how to formulate my perspective on this until about a day ago, and I was like, I'm going to end up saying this on the podcast, but I was watching Jimmy Carr did a podcast with I think this thing's called the CEO podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Carr was basically saying until he was a certain age, he was basically living someone else's life, like where his parents had wanted him to do a certain thing, and then he'd always done that, and then by the time they really had no control over what he did anymore. Not that they were controlling, but in the sense that, you know, you have to move out and do your own thing. It was like, oh shit, well now I can just go and do whatever the hell I want. They cared. They were like, oh yeah, but I just told them like, I need to do it. Like I just feel like I need to do it because again, at that point I had pretty much lived up to whatever. I'd got a job straight out of uni. I got like a 2-1, did everything that I was meant to do, and it weren't making me happy. So I was just like, I'm just going to go and do this and just see how that goes. And it was fucking awesome. It was like it was like the best. Like I just mate, waking up like in national parks, like opening the door to the car and like putting out a little table and then cooking like bacon and eggs and a kangaroo walks past. You're like, this is fine. I might be very quickly spending my whole life savings. Yeah, who gives a shit?
But it's more of an eye opener. There's more to the world than the place you live in. And you know, I always hear of people who say, "Oh, I really want to move to sort of America. I want to move to America." It's like no, but what you're missing is that. You can live in 2 places at once. Mm-hmm. That's what people are like. They think they just got to dedicate to America. It's like, no, you can spend 3 months in America and 5 months in Spain and 2 months in England, whatever the
Yeah,
you
you'll
wanna
probably
do.
fall into the
But
same trap if you just move somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's not healthy.
There's a chance of it anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah. that's
No,
it.
mate, I genuinely believe if you put enough graft in, you can organise your life in whatever way you want. Like you can
Yeah.
actually set it up. Like near the end of it, like I spend
Your life's a business.
essentially,
You run it as a business.
Yeah, you're the CEO.
Yeah.
Like, make it work. You got to but you have to put the graft in to do that. You have to
Yeah,
like
that's it.
mentally arrange it, and even if that like takes a few months of doing something you don't want to achieve something you do want long term, then do it. Like for instance, after I spent all the life savings, I worked on melon farms, kiwi farms, and then I ended up being a labourer in Melbourne for 4 months.
on a building site.
Yeah, just on building sites in general. And mate, like I don't know if you ever heard, like you probably have mates who've been over to Australia and done like labouring.
How old was you when this all started? Sorry.
So by this point, I'm 23.
Okay. Right,
By this
okay.
23, 23, 24 around
Right,
there.
okay.
And literally, mate, I loved it. Like I was like,
It's not that long ago, really.
no, not
Not-
28 now.
Yeah.
28 now. So
5
yeah,
years.
yeah, generally. But mate, I absolutely, because as well, the money is so good as well. Like, but again, I arranged it so I was like, right, do 4 months of this, and then I'll go spend 6 months in Asia. And that's what I did. Like, it was just like every time I earned a bit of money, I was like, right, let's go into a hostel for a week, or this is going to. And then one day I did a Sunday where it was, so in Australia, you get like $250 a day for just general labour, and that's sweeping, digging holes. It's
Really?
Like, it's not, mate. It is nuts, honestly.
What?
Oh,
That's
yeah, mate.
not bad money. Though.
Oh mate, I was earning $1,250 like a week, and I got overtime. Like the guys on the so I somehow end up on an
And
island.
you was in a hostel, so
Oh no. So at this point,
I was thinking, Jesus Christ,
no,
this
so-
guy is eating filet mignon every day. Have you say it? Filet mignon. Let's go.
Philip Magnon.
Filet mignon. So at this point, I'd moved. So as soon as we got to Melbourne, because we just left this melon farm, and basically the guy, I went up there to meet a mate of mine, and he said that it was all right and the money was good and whatever. And we got there, and it was shit. It was awful. It was, you had to wake up at 4 every day, and to get the bus for an hour, and then you'd have to 2 kilometers. You'd have to basically imagine like as 2 kilometers like this black plastic shit on the ground, and every 2 meters you have to bend down and poke a hole in the ground to put a seed in it, but you have to do that for hours, so you're constantly bending down. Like me and my miss did a week of it, we're just like, fuck this. And at that point as well, people had said to us, you should go to Melbourne and see if you can get labouring work. But when we got there, we moved straight into, we just was looking for houses, and we moved straight into like an 11-person share house that was like basically an old converted mansion. And it was like,
Sounds sick.
it was, oh mate,
It sounds like a uni house. And it just sounds sick.
it was mental,
Yeah.
mate. There was people from all over the world as well,
Yeah.
which is what I loved about it. Because you go in the living, it was like being in a hostel,
Yeah.
but you had like a sense of security that we had our own room and all that. But there was just like all these interesting people. But where is it? Yeah. So at that point, when I was getting all this overtime and had all this other things coming up, there was one Sunday, like when I was talking about arranging money because I knew it would be allocated to things. The best thing I did with that was there was a Sunday and I managed to get 13 hours. It's double pay an hour. So it's $50 an hour. And I ended up getting something like $800 for one day's work. And it was, I was working in, it was like a Target, you know, the American company Target.
Yeah.
It was their headquarters. And essentially I was plugging extension cords into walls for PCs, like, so it was piss, right? And I used that money because I was allocating stuff because I'd seen this Australian guy in Cambodia shoot a rocket launcher. So I took that day and I went to Cambodia when it came time to go to Cambodia.
You done it.
I've done the rocket launcher. So I went out
You
there.
shot a rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, like, sorry,
Because you
like-
made a plan to do
well,
that.
yeah, because I was like, okay, well, this I was allocating.
Let me just
perfectly.
pause it. So we're talking about one of those bazooka things.
Yes,
that go over
an
you,
RPG, yeah.
like a Grand Theft Auto type.
Yeah, like
type
an
shit.
RPG, yeah.
How was that then? Like,
It's fucking nuts.
Lee thought they only existed in Grand.
honestly, it's something you don't even see on YouTube.
Oh mate, I couldn't believe it. I've got like angles of it. It was so sick. I got the drone out and everything. Again, the drone was like
Yeah.
another day. I did one other Sunday.
Yeah, sure. Shot pictures afterwards.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
for sure,
interesting to see.
But
You shoot a cow, did you?
so I didn't shoot the cow.
Clip it.
I didn't shoot the cow. I didn't.
We
shoot
talk
the
about
cow.
fucking.
What, but
stepping
you
on
could.
snails.
I'll set up the day for you. It's already really dodgy because you're basically the Cambodian military is associated with it in some way, right? So it's not above board. And I learned all this afterwards, but I get picked up from a hostel, which is like a $3 a day hostel to go on site. And I'm spending like $800 US because they use US dollars in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people,
Yeah.
and we get picked up and we have to drive out to the mountains. And we get there and the guy picks us up. And the first thing we do is we drive to go get food. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, this guy will bring us a food. And he goes, oh, if you want food, you're going to have to buy it yourself here. And I'm thinking, you motherfucker, what the fuck what are you talking about? I just spent $800. And he just sits there going, oh. And he just eats. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, well, this is already turning out to be a bit like shit.
Yeah.
We start driving furthermore. And like we're about half an hour away from there. And I'm going, well, mate, have you got any water for us? He goes, oh yeah, drinks in cooler. I'm like, okay, fine. Turn around, I open the cooler, there's all like beer in there. And I'm like, mate, there's no water in it. What are you talking about? I'm like, he's like, oh no, there's beer. And I'm like, yeah, well, he's like, I'm like, what about it? He's like, oh, that's for you. I'm like, oh, well, all right then. I'm like, all right, fair enough. And then for the next like 1.5 hours, I just sat there drinking tinnies, making him pull over, and like just to take a piss on the side of the road. Yeah. And by the time I got there, mate, I was absolutely steaming. And so the first thing we did was I shot an RPD, which is like a kind of one, and then
but you hold that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the turret. It's on like Call of Duty.
Exactly. And then AK-47, and then I did the RPG. And I missed the target that I'd paid for, which was like 150 US. I bought a massive gas canister that you can blow up, but it went over. Like you can see it in the video. Like I shot it and it went over. But mate, like the way, I can't quite describe it, but the air around you, like it creates like a vortex, and everything goes like,
really?
You can feel it all like go.
Yeah.
But oh shit, mate, the funniest part of it was the funniest part of it was he put when I first put it on the shoulder, obviously you're sitting there like, oh, this is strange. He goes, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And I go, click. He's bracing me, by the way. He's behind me, like, kind of holding on to me so I don't fall over. And I went, click.
This fella holding it.
Yeah, but he's like pushing against my back. Right. And then it went click, and he didn't go. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? What do you mean? What's going on? He's like, okay, no problem. Whips it out, takes it apart, gets the rocket ender, just smashes it with a hammer a few times, screws it back on, chucks it back in the tube. Oh, he's like, okay, no problem, go. I'm like, fucking hell, this thing's gonna blow up on my shoulder. And then he's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, click. Then go again. He pulls it again and bangs it, and I'm sitting there thinking, fuck. Like, am I really gonna do this? This is so dodgy. Like, what the fuck's gonna go on? But then I remembered I'd watched. Again, you guys must love podcasts. I watched this podcast with an Australian bomb diffuser expert. And they asked him, aren't you scared, when you're diffusing a bomb? What if it blows up? And he goes, well, I'm not going to know about it. And I was just thinking, true. I was like, fuck it, yeah. Well, again, I'm not really, because again, if it's going to blow up on my shoulder, it's just going to rip my head off. There's no, I'm not going to hospital. I'm not
you'll be that 1% that survives.
Exactly. And then
you're just a head and an arm.
the man with 5 face transplants.
Mate, and then you get a cool story. That's what I was thinking. And then you just get a cool story. One day you can come to your mate's podcast and be like, I shot a rocket launch, by the way.
Yeah, we can tell, mate.
Yeah, he said with no arm.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds mental.
Oh, mate, no, but mate, I'd recommend, like, I don't know if you've got any like younger audience. I don't know what if you know what this.
They're all over the place. To be honest, it's the most it's the most random bunch of people. It does make me question, like, are we weirdos? Like, because we get some very strange listeners, and I tell them this all the time.
Yeah, like we had one guy that actually owns a studio and everything. And he kept calling us out for ages. And we thought, this fella's fucking weird, right? We thought, he can't be real. And then one day he was like, I am not joking with you. Yeah. And so he invited us down there, and if you've seen our YouTube or not, we'd gone on the full studio. It looked like the dodgiest place. But yeah, it's a fella that owns a company called Launchpod, or around, I don't know what he's involved with. Have you heard of it?
No.
Sort of Launchpod. I've seen loads of podcasts on YouTube that all use the same setup. And but where is it? He's meant to be that one, but we called him a flake. But you got like
go on. There's a story
over there. We got Kim at the top there.
Mate, I love it. That's what because again, like I'll be frank with you. I've watched episodes here and there.
Yeah,
I've watched episodes here and there. There's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of time.
There's a lot better podcasts.
No, mate, no. But there's a lot of content. There's a lot of people to watch building huts and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And like, one thing I was like, what I liked, and what I liked, and what made me like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll go on that if I end up talking to him, was like, you guys are like, you're doing everything what I think is the right way to conduct it. Like the way that you're like your branding, the way that you what's it called, interact with your audience, all that. I think it's sick. I think I love the fucking hustle of it, because again, like, it's just a grind. The thing is consistency. That's what it is.
And that's like, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about us, but like, that is the main thing that we pat ourselves on the back for. Like, staying consistent. We are learning on the job. Literally, like, if you listen to episode 1-200, like, the difference in level is quite. I mean, we're still not at what we want to be at, but like, it's slowly getting there. Do you know what I mean? So,
like, we don't look at numbers and nothing. We both realise that doing this for fun for the next 50 years, hopefully, like, it's the fun element. Like, this is fun.
Yeah, but always trying to improve.
This is fun. Yeah, but that comes first, you know. Like, so we're not in it for money or views. We're in it for the fun, and if we can make that work, then that'd be fantastic. I think that's a great angle, I guess.
Mate, and that's clearly why the audience that you have is there.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
But anyway, enough about us. All right, it's time to get the juicy gossip out of John.
Okay.
Right, that doesn't really exist. We found out already. But
Have you killed someone? That could take a big turn, couldn't it, right now?
In the UK?
so, because I know there's going to be some Sidemen fans listening to this.
Sure.
Right. So, who's your favourite?
Who's my favourite?
Yeah.
Oh,
And this ain't got to be like in a bitchy way, you know. Just like who's been the best to you? Who's had the best chat?
well, so I'd say those are two different questions. I'd say those are two different questions.
See, I'm like a dog. Whoever's good to me, that's my favourite.
Yeah, see, I'd say Simon, because like he's, you know, he's allowed me, him and Randolph allowed me to run the What's Good podcast.
Yeah.
I basically help him shoot all of his main channel videos.
Oh, do you? Like
Yeah. So like the game, have you ever seen his game show? He's got a game show, yeah. So I get that, and basically he's given me a lot of free reign. So like a lot of stuff that's allowed me to build like a reputation is off of what he's been able to give me. But in terms of like, so I'd have to say, yeah, he probably is my favourite in that regard. But and then in terms of who is another favourite, it's got to be like Toby, because Toby is notoriously the nicest.
Yeah.
Like he is, like everyone's really nice, but Toby's always like Toby once let me waffle on for like 3 hours to him about just my life and all these interesting things, and he was like very sincerely there for it.
Yeah.
Like, not that anyone else wouldn't be, but he was.
I saw a really nice like video where the Sidemen had to step left and right, and the question was, "Are you happy?"
Yep.
And he's the only one that was like, "Fuck," and everyone hugged him. That was really nice. Like,
oh yeah,
that video was. I thought, you
yeah.
know, these are all genuinely nice fellas. Like, all of them.
Oh mate, they're all best mates as well. That's the thing that is true. Like these days, like
because they all live together, right? Or they're
not
anymore.
Not anymore. Now, I think with the money that they're earning, I think all living together, like it would either be just the most mental, insane house ever, or it would be like an estate with multiple houses set up on it where they all lived in one and then hung out.
Yeah.
But you know, they're all getting older now. Like we're all like, I'm like 3 of them are our age, like because we're all the same year.
Yeah.
And then I think that now Harry, who's the youngest, just turned 25.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of wanting their own space and doing the last thing. I think the last one of them, like there's a couple that still live together with
Harry's
like one
funny,
or two. Harry's
funny.
Harry.
He'll catch you off guard. Funny.
Him,
he doesn't know he's funny.
Oh yeah, he's not. But that's the thing. I have a theory about Harry in terms of the way his funny is. Sometimes I'm not sure if he does it on purpose, but I swear down, I've seen like he's got such a comedy mind that I can't think of a specific instance right now. But a joke will end up happening, and then when I like watch it back in my head from like looking around the room, he's kind of set it up like way in advance for that to just like a domino effect. Like it just ends up that it comes out as that. Yeah. But he's just naturally. You
know, he reminds me of
in
comedy, in a comedy way, and this I mean this in the nicest way, because I think he's the funniest. Mm-hmm. Or KSI, I find him very funny as well. But Boris Johnson. I don't know why.
I think I can nail on one thing specifically why.
What?
It's sometimes when he talks, he goes. It's that.
But just comes out with something you're like, what?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I doubt at this point in time anyone's going to love being associated with Boris Johnson, mate. And I'm not even trying to be political at that point.
I know.
But whatever's going on, like generally, I think the population isn't happy with him.
He's an abortion. Like you've got Boris and you've got Biden. They're just total fuck ups, and they really think about. Anyway, we're not talking about that sort of stuff. But
no,
where were we leading?
So yeah, your favourite one, Simon.
Yeah. He's given me like in terms of opportunity, man. Like again, like a lot of this stuff is reputation, and people need to take chances on you.
Yeah.
And so the amount of chances like he's given me and the ability to just show people what I can do. So for instance, their studio. Me and Con basically did it together, but a lot of stuff, Con's busy, man. He's got his own channel. Like a lot of stuff I was allowed to kind of have free roam over. And now when people come into the studio, like other YouTubers come to do the game show or whatever. Sorry, one sec. When they come in and they go, oh, this is fucking sick. They go, who did this? And they go, oh, John and Con. And I'm just there like,
yeah,
I did that. I was just like,
praise me.
As well. It was the worst fucking 3 months of my life. But as soon as it was done, I was like, someone please give me another.
What did they do? They like set you a budget. Said like what they want.
So
I'm guessing before you explain it is that it was kind of one of those situations where you took on this pressure without knowing you could do it, but you either thought if this fucking plans out, then great. If it don't, I tried, right? and it turned out to be fantastic.
Mate, at this point, I am fully of the belief that you can just say yes to anything and figure it out afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you're never really, like, as well, as long as you're
That's
like...
how I run my life, I'm not going to lie.
Mate, because what most people, I think, respect is trying. Like, as long as they can see you're actively trying, they don't care if you're fading that much. If you're just some, like, layabout who's, like, not really putting the effort in and they don't give feedback or something, then they'll, you know...
I've noticed you tend to get two types of people. You get the people that just do everything themselves because... that's generally how I've done things, but I know people that will just they think it's clever just to pay somebody to do it, and that's the clever way, right? So you just went 100% in it, like.
Mate, so here's my theory on if I ever got to a point where I thought, I'll allocate resources to pay someone, would be when it is like a detriment to my time. Like if I notice that I can't physically do any more at this point, that's the only time I'd ever get someone else in on it, because then because at that point you physically can't do anything else, right? So then, but then again, you just go. It's like trusting that you have someone who's going to work as hard as you, which there and abouts I do find is hard. I don't know if you guys if you look to hire anyone or you do these things, or people you just want to work with, or even like work with on the same level as you. It's like hard to find. I think I don't know. People, I might be like basically. Con took me on as a mentor, and Con is absolutely off his head. He is insane. Like the amount
of mentor. Sorry, what?
A mentor to John.
Yeah, we're the same age, which is weird to say. But like he all he knew was that I was most of the time I was on time, and that I was just enthusiastic, and I would just always have energy, and I would always carry every bag, and I would just do it because I literally just started off carrying bags and setting up tripods. That was where I started. And I just don't know if I don't know if there are many that people that are just don't run out of energy or are mental, because it is asking too much. Like I barely sleep as it is.
How did you know
that's
Con?
That's the grind to get to where you want to be.
Did you go to uni with him?
Yeah. So I went to college with him. Because again, I did business and economics, nothing to do with film or anything. Like when I was away traveling, I did buy my own camera because I've always been interested in watching YouTube, as you said, and I thought I'll just take some pictures because I always enjoyed that anyway. When I was in college with Con,
do you want some of this? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it is, but I normally have it straight.
Oh, hang on. What do you mean you don't know what it is?
It's some
Where
form
are we going here?
Some form of rum or something.
Can you not interrupt a conversation?
I mean, he is interrupting with alcohol. To be fair.
I don't want to be rude. It's not offering one.
No, just pouring one.
Sniff or whatever it is. I think it's like rum of some sort.
Yeah, it could be rum. Oh, speaking of which.
Oh, I remember you having that, don't you?
You say rum, now it says rim. I'm very popular in bars in Soho.
Yeah.
That's a clip. That's a thumbnail bit. That's a thumbnail.
But what was it? Where was it? So I was in college with Con. And I always describe this relationship. I might have even said it on the What's Good podcast, but me and Con always had a funny relationship in terms of, it wasn't a strong relationship. It was just we have a very similar sense of humor to the point where we would just turn around and look at each other and go, it was just dumb humor. There's nothing more than you just know that you get on, and
telepathic type of
basically
connection.
That's all I could describe it as. And he was always out actually doing filming. It was in film class because I only took everything else was business economics or politics, history kind of shit. Accounting. I took accounting. Terrible. Don't do it. So I took film. It was the only thing where I was to my dad, I want to do this one for fun. By that point, I'd already been kicked out. I went to private school for 1 year in AS year, and I got kicked out of there. By there, he was half do what you fucking
What is
want.
AS year? Sorry, is this after school?
Yeah, so it's 17. 17, between 17,
right.
16, 17, 17, 18 is A2.
Right.
And then, what was it? Basically, Con was always out shooting all this. So once I then went to uni and did stuff, I never really spoke to him. And earlier when I said that I left uni and went and got a job, that's not entirely true, because on that night when I was I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, I messaged Con at 3 a.m. or like a drunken ex-girlfriend. I wish I could find it because I've looked for it before so I could show people, but it was a long text or a long Facebook message I fucked up my life. I don't know what I'm doing. What you're doing all seems really interesting. At this point, by the way, he wasn't working for the Sidemen. I just seen he'd be doing music videos and interesting film shit. So I was just I'm interested, that could be good, and I'll work really hard, and I'll just put my heart and soul into it, and I'll work for you for free until I prove myself of value, And he messaged, I sent it, and I showed Kelly, my fiance.
Only a certain type of person does that.
A drunk person.
Yeah, I mean, he was drunk.
I was very drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, you reaching out, that's good,
not... somebody that's...
You did that to me to start a podcast.
Yeah, mate.
You little hussy.
How many messages did he send out? Who else is on there?
Yeah.
But What is it? He messaged back 15 minutes later. 15, because in that time though, I'd had time to go to Caddy and go, oh, what have I done? I'm such an idiot. Why am I doing this? It's embarrassing. Because at this point as well, he got out of college and like one of the first music videos he'd done was for Lethal Bizzle at like 18 or 19. Yeah. And this is back when Lethal Bizzle, you know, we was all like, oh shit, that's fucking cool.
That was power era.
That is a very, very young age to smash that. Like.
Oh yeah, mate. So Con's reputation, like people don't know it. It goes like back. Like I think the video that he did when he was 18, I think is Rari Workout. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
But so I messaged him that and he messaged back at 3:15 being like, what are you doing tomorrow? And I was like, fuck, I better sober up. But I was like, fucking go for it. And I don't know if it ended up being that day or the next day, but I turned up and basically, like, whenever it was, and I was like, the shoot started at like 6. I turned up at 5:30. I was like there, and I was like, I was there, I'm ready to go, and I was greeting everyone. I was like, I told everyone there my whole life story every time a new person turned up. I'm really excited. This is my first day. I just said all these things. I was trying to be as amiable as possible, and basically, like it was so mad. I had like a little quick progression that happened, and the guy
was this after you've gone through this mindset of calming down? Was you going through this anxious stage at this point?
Yeah, I was still. So I would say that uni was kind of like
the new John. Where I'm going with this.
To be frank, there was a few other things going on in my life that I wouldn't really, it's like a bit deep and personal. It's like don't want to sour the mood. But there was a few things that I didn't really ever say out loud to anyone until uni. Like a few things that also, like when you say something out loud for the first time, it kind of helps you, it frees you of it. Yeah. So that's another reason why I was like in the pits in terms of like mindset and all that, because I was in my head so much because I had like things that had happened, like nothing sexual or anything like that, but things had happened in my life that had kind
John.
of... What?
Like, no, sorry, because I was thinking, like, oh, please say it's nothing sexual.
No.
I've got a question to ask you later.
No, nothing like that. But so I was just like, I'd been some like things that I don't know, relationship wise with people, just in people in general, that I've been able to express to people. Now, like that, once you say them out loud to someone can mediate how you're going to feel about it and say, oh, you shouldn't feel as deep about that. So I had worked, like I'd gone past a certain point. I'd become more open and free and a lot more relaxed around people in general, and I wasn't overthinking things. Yeah. And so anyway, on the day that first day when I was on the shoot, it ended up being like a commercial, like an advert for a company we were doing. So it was basic, but we had like all these mad cameras and mad lenses, and we had like a command of a big building in London and all this. And Con was the director. Mate, I'm going to burp because of these beers. Apologies.
That's fine.
Mate, we burp all the time.
Mate, do it on the mic.
Oh, no, there's some bad ASMR.
Kim loves it, mate. Kim loves it.
Oh, God, Kim. So, what is it? So Con's a director, but do you guys know what a DOP is? DOP is director of photography. So directors often have another guy who like actually organises how the camera's filmed. Like he sets up the shots and lights it for the director. Director's like kind of in touch with everyone. He kind of is like the manager of all the different roles, like a set designer, clothing, makeup, whatever, and then the DOP. So anyway, there was a DOP who was like a really like well-known guy in the grime scene, and he was just doing this con because it was like good money. And basically, I ended up getting this guy so many coffees that he then was like, you're a good guy. You know what? You should come work for me. And I was like, from the first day, and I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, I can't pay you. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I don't give a shit. And then so the next week I was on a Wretch Free 2 music video. And then the week after that I was on a JME music video. Oh. And then what the hell? I can't there's someone else that after Gets, I don't know if you Gets it. Yeah. And then I was on a Gets music. So this all happened like within a month. But the problem is that me and my fiance Kelly, and she's kind of like, like been like a big part of my mental transformation, like helping me. She always encouraged me and whatever. And basically what happened was we both graduated and we were both living at separate houses. And where I wasn't earning any money and not using my degree, basically we weren't going to get to see each other all the time. And I really wanted to live with her. And it was like, I was at this junction where I was just like, I want to live with Kelly. I can't just work for this guy for free all the time. And like I was spending all my time working for this guy. I was driving around. Like he had.
How often were you out working with this guy?
3 times a week, but it's like pretty heavy stuff. I ended up like staying at his house like loads.
It's intense.
It's a lot for no pay.
For no pay.
It's intense it's intense.
Mm-hmm. Like, I was driving him around, because as well he'd been banned for drink driving, so that was part of the reason he got me on. So he was like a heavy guy, like he was really well known. But basically, I ended up come to a point where I was either gonna keep doing that and not see Kelly, or I was gonna have to go and get a uni job straight away, be earning like $2,000 a month or whatever, and be able to move in with her in like a place that was in the middle.
And
I chose
selling your soul if you did that, and you knew that at the time, right?
I knew that, but at the time, like, I couldn't see a quick way. Like, my parents basically weren't tolerating. They were like, look, we respect you're doing what you're doing, but you know, if you're gonna live here, you're gonna have to pay rent, etc. And I was like, I don't really want to live at home anyway. I've just been at uni for 4 years. I'd rather go out and do my own thing. So at that point, I chose to go get the job, and that's when I got the job that I was meant to get or whatever.
Yeah.
And but that's when I then went and worked at that company for a year. And luckily that whole time, even after I did all that and did all these things, I'd stayed in contact with Con from that point.
Yeah.
And he'd remembered from that time. And during all this time, during Australia and all that, he'd built the Sidemen thing. He started working with all them. And then by the time I was coming back, like 3 months before, I'd started messaging him like properly again, going, I'll do it again. Like now, because as well, I'd like saved loads of money from like the labouring and all that. And I came back with money from Australia, not a ton. I basically, first 6 months I was back in the UK because I worked for Con for free. Not because like Con wasn't willing to pay anyone. There was just nothing for anyone to do. Like, if anything, I was just there to alleviate any extra stress. Yeah. And I was in my mind, I was like, right, I'll work.
It's kind of a gateway.
Yeah, of course. It's like an internship. It's like an internship. Like as well, you got to prove yourself of value in some way, and then also you got to make it so. Like, here's a tip for anyone: you got to literally just make it so they can't do without you up to a certain point, and then like, all right, I'll start paying.
Yeah.
Like basically, it's a bunch of A players, and you've all just got to get it right, and you just went through that.
Yeah, essentially. But mate, it was like, I'm glad that I did do that at that time. Like everything, like getting a second chance at it is nuts. Like, because most people don't get a second chance at their dreams. So I'm very lucky that Con was like nice enough to be like, yeah, go on, come back. You can like try again.
Did he care that? I mean, I know obviously you weren't done in a horrible way or anything like that, but like the fact that you come on to help him, and then this geezer's like taking you off of him.
Oh no, he was happy because because even on the day, like I feel like he was like, oh shit, he's here early, and he's just constantly asking what he can do and what he can help. So like he told me before, like he's had mates, like I'm not the first friend of Con's or someone that went to college with Con that's asked him to come on. And you know, some people get there and then they're like either too interested with like the talent, or they're too interested with I don't know, whatever aspect of it, or they're just not as keen as they said they were.
Yeah,
you know. So I was, mate, and I was. That's the
real deal.
Like, this is literally your ambition. Like, this is literally everything you love is at this job.
Oh, mate.
And it's just, when it's worked out.
Bro, working in an office is the worst fucking shit that you can do. It is awful. It's the most soul-crushing thing. And I just want to say, like, all the people at my company who I worked for, and the people who gave me a chance in that company, were lovely. I like that. It wasn't. They didn't make my type. The people there made it very tolerable.
Not for you. It's just not for you.
It wasn't for me. I was terrible at it. I was watching YouTube 4 hours out of the 8 hours a day. I was being sneaky. I was never reaching my targets. I was always trying to find like an underhanded way to try and make my commission targets and all these other things. I fucking hated it. It was awful. And I gained 2 stone while I was there.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I was beering, mate. I was beering. I was going out on Fridays and seeing how many pints I could sink at lunch. Like, I think the record was 4. So that, you know, it's not nothing massive. But.
And insane though. Like that. It's just society, like all these traditions that are just put in place, like no one really ever thinks too deeply about it, but like what you're doing to your kids when you're telling them like, this is what you should be doing, you should be getting married at this age, you should be doing that and that, it's so bad because like all it does is just makes a bunch of unhappy people.
In my experience, your parents are not always right. In fact, they're not. Like, it's like now we're getting adults, right? If I ask you about what you do, I know fuck all what you do. Right, but your parents seem to have the answer to everything, right? But if your dad does X, Y, Z, and he's giving you advice on whatever, don't listen.
Well,
mate,
no. If your dad is a good property developer and you want to be a property developer, he's your man.
Yeah.
If you want to go do videography, he gives you advice on videography career. Don't listen. I'm just saying, your parents have lived a certain life.
Videography.
Leave
the man alone.
I don't know what the titles are.
Nah, John, I've put up with this for too long.
I've seen a few times. I've seen some clips. I've seen some clips.
I'm no good when you shorten things down.
So here's my conclusion on like parents, people taking advice from their parents, or like to a degree. I did blame my parents for a long time. I was like, how did you set me up to do all this? But it's like. And this isn't like, I love my parents to death, right? Yeah. But I can't remember if I've heard this quote, but you're expecting perfect advice from imperfect people, right? Mm. But all of our parents are humans too, and they really want the best for us. And in their minds, whatever they're advising you on, isn't from a place of like malice or anything.
No,
They've arrived there because they genuinely think that.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes they get it wrong. They're not going to get it right. Exactly. They expect that. Like, for instance, my dad want me in finance sector because, you know, my dad found his success at that. My dad, I'm pretty sure it was either my...
He might be passionate for that. It's not you.
Well, but the thing is, he didn't grow up as a rich man. Like, he wasn't, you know, his family weren't well-to-do or anything like that. He's always told me that, you know, he was always, like, never had any heat in his house. He was always freezing. So one of the things why my house was always so warm was because he was like, I'm never going to be bloody cold again.
Yeah.
Like, but he found success in that sphere. So he thought, all right, if my son's going to... the key to the happiness in his regard was that.
Yeah,
But,
like it's just like the experience you're going through yourself. Like your parents have been through this hard shit, and I'll tell you what. One thing your parents don't ever do, which I don't know why, is they never let you know what you're about to experience. No parent has ever.
Some do. You can't say none of them.
I'm saying none. My experience.
Go on, expand on that.
No one has ever told me.
You've only got one set of parents.
No, honestly, no one's ever said to me, Lee, when you get in your 20s, it's going to be one hard, tough, up and down. You're going to be depressed, up, down. It's going to be one tough
it might not
obstacle.
be, though.
No one said, yeah, but my experience, it was.
Yeah, but they can't see the future.
No, you get what I'm saying. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're trying to say, but...
With the ride that you've been on, no one actually said to you there's about to be a ride here.
Oh yeah, I was.
You,
Well,
you sort of get on the rides and nobody mentions the bad part, right? Like you have all these faces.
Mate, like it's so the only thing that I think the best thing my dad gave me was critical thinking. Like I think everything, like he was always like, whenever a topic would come up or anything like that, or anything would happen in school, he'd be like, and why is that way? Like we'd always have like a sit down and an open discussion. To a point, I was always like, why is he so bloody argumentative all the time? Everything would be a debate. You'd have to build like an essay worth of an idea just to explain. Oh yeah, I went to the park today, and why is that good? Why was that a virtuous thing to do or whatever? And it's just like, yeah, mate. Again, it's within their limited scope, like because as well now, like this, like, and again, you're both at points where you're having your own successes and you're doing your own things, and you can say to your parent, like they look at you in a different way because they're like, oh shit, he did that without a lot of advice from us, or like you know, he's not really living in that dimension, and that's when it starts to become, they're like, okay, I can let the reins go a little bit, because at this point, you know, me and my dad, our relationship is better than it's ever been, because at this point he doesn't feel like he has to tell me anything or like or worry or like, you know, has to give away his expertise, and like he kind of like accepts that it's like
he trusts you know what you're doing now, like,
because again, like, and realistically, mate, a lot of people are in this sphere. A lot of people have YouTube channels. A lot of people try this stuff and it doesn't work. Yeah, like you know, they love you and they think you're awesome, obviously, but they don't know if you're going to be great enough or whatever to be the person who makes it, if that 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, whatever the odds are. And you can't blame them for like not wanting to gamble your life away by saying just go for whatever. No, like you want to set them up. Obviously, like when I have kids, I'm going to give them as much opportunity to do whatever, you know, you can dibble and dabble on all these things, but again, like they'll have to do things like I did, where I was a labourer for a certain amount of time and do all the basic shit. You're not going to just coast and then just get to try all these amazing fun things. You're going to have to coast, you're going to have to graft, you're going to have to do all those things, but that again, that's so fulfilling. Yeah, it really is. It's like the best part of it. Like
you get experiences as well.
It's almost like the toughest times that you do face actually turn out they are the biggest lessons.
Oh yeah,
and they are the biggest lessons by far as well. Yeah.
Mate, do you guys know who Jordan Peterson is? Quick.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson, I love the fella. Yeah.
He's my boy. He's my boy. Yeah. My dad's not going to watch this, but I just bought for Christmas. I bought tickets to go see him with my dad.
Oh really?
He's in Wembley. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I didn't even know that was a thing.
He's doing a talk, mate. I'm so gassed because I had one for last year, and mate, but he was a big part of like the whole like sorting my head out kind of vibe. Like I always
have you ever possibly studied personality types?
Yeah. ENTJ or something like that. I think is like the personality.
He's an INFJ. That fella, and
Mate, he's the man. He is the man. I love Jordan Peterson. Honestly, I can't say enough. He's the best.
Yeah, I've had this debate with my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, and like he just shot him down. Like you know, like
about Jordan.
Yeah. You know, like I said something, I repeat something. I was like, I said like blah, blah, blah. He's like really interesting, blah blah blah. And he shot it down. And like, obviously, I'm not going to be confrontational to my sister's, my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend. But I was just thinking, okay, well that's that then. Yeah. And do you know what I mean? You just got to keep shit to yourself. It's almost like politics.
I know
when there's too many strong opinions. It's like well, whatever.
Like I tell you what there's like a website called Gaia. You probably know this website. It's always
Gaia Online, right?
You're right. I started watching some stuff about the brain and stuff, and they said on there by the age of 35, you've programmed yourself.
I thought it was 25.
No, it's 35.
Yeah.
He said because your brain actually grows in the way you program yourself. And so there's certain things in my life that is starting to change, and I didn't realise it was subconsciously programmed, whatever. But when you hit 35, it's very hard to change. So to get that first 35 years out the way and experience, do what you want to do. Like, don't get stuck in that dead end job, whatever, before 35, and you break the habit of freedom, if you will. And generally, when you get to 35, you just go, fuck it, it is what it is. And you see that a lot in 40, 50, 60, 70 year old. And yeah, at 35. So
Mate,
ultimately, figure out what you want to do before 35 is what I'm trying to say.
Mate, it's the curse of habit. That's what it is. You get into the same routine and you're doing the same shit over and over again. But to a certain age, like, your emotions are attached to it as well. So it's even harder to peel all that back and try and change what the hell it is that you're doing, because you're just like who you are now. You've set a definition. Yeah. And like, fair play to anyone who manages to do that, like, past a certain age. I don't think it's like, I don't think it's impossible to ever change it. Though. I think go for it. Like, whatever it is, just go for it. But then again, I'm over enthusiastic about everything. So
mate, the way your life's going, like, you can't not be happy. You can't not be on a natural buzz. Like, you're on a roll.
Lee, I've been very sad recently.
No, but you've got to the point where you're just naturally on a roll, and it's good to see. It's good to see that. Like,
I appreciate that, but you know what it is? It's like, so I'm in an interesting space, right? Where the things I'm thinking about, it's like being around these type of people who have this level of success. I always like that it propels you to think, well, what the fuck can I achieve? Right? So, it's always like there's
a good circle to be around.
What do they know that I don't? It's just a matter of that, not hierarchy.
And just seeing how much work and effort they still put in at the level they're at, and like and hearing about the stories of how they got to where they are is even more inspiring. But it's just like, I'm trying to figure out what my next part of the mechanism is, because, like, so for instance, like, I went on a holiday thing with them, and one of the things on that was we got to go. I don't want to sound braggy or anything, but this is like ties in like nicely. They got us a private jet, right? Yeah. We're on a private jet, and I was like, fucking hell, this is mental. Like, how is like a scumbag like me on a private jet? But I kept, like, people asked me afterwards, because like they, like, friends of mine, like people know, like, friends have told friends, whatever. How was that? That's mental, isn't it? That's mental, is it? But I kept thinking, like, that's not my experience, like, if you know what I mean. I didn't earn that, it's not. I got to get, sure, look, I'm there. I was there for it. I got to enjoy it. I got to be a part of it. And I was like, well, this is fucking mental, isn't it? Yeah. But I want one day to be the guy who pays for that kind of thing himself.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And it's like, sometimes when people go,
it doesn't feel earned unless you pay for it, right?
Yeah, but even like to the point where I'm filming something sometimes, and they're like, oh, you were there when they filmed that? That's so sick. How was that experience? And it's like, well, I didn't really experience it because I was filming it.
Yeah, it's a different perspective.
I'm not the one eating all the yummy food. I'm not the one.
You're the slave to the experience, not the one on the experience.
Essentially.
To a certain degree.
And again, I'm not shooting down how fucking privileged I am to be there to film it and to get the chance. That's fucking awesome. But
I'll tell you what it does more importantly. It makes you realise there's more to what you're fucking doing. So you experience stuff like that, and and it's like, I've not been on a jet, by the way, like that.
Oh, mate, no, mate. I'm if I ever get to go again, it'll be a fucking great day. I'm gonna get into this. See what's going on. No, mate. If I ever get to go again, every time something happens, I'm just like, wow. Yeah. Gee whiz, look at me. Look at me.
But I can fully see where you're coming from with that thing of, like, you want to be the one to do it. And it's not coming from a way of, like,
not a pride way.
It's not like, I want to be KSI. I want to be JSI.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing of, like,
it's the approach. If I wanted to, I could kind of approach the aspect of life. Yeah,
mate. They as well, as a group, I would say, encourage everyone around them to want as much as for themselves, because they create opportunities like Simon allowing me to come and shoot videos for him to make that level up. But you just got to be hungry for it and go for it. So as well, like, a lot of cameramen, they go and
mate, you can take a shit on that mic and
I just feel, mate, this is again, mate, I run a podcast. If someone burps on the mic, I'll be like,
I'm with you. I've had a go at Lee a couple of times.
I feel like he's burped on the mic. I feel like he's getting away with some of it here.
He's the burper. I don't burp on the mic.
Yeah, well,
But mate, a lot of cameramen do go on to do their own shit, and like at this point, like, I am interested in the craft of, like, being a videographer. I think it's interesting. Sometimes, like, this is like a bit of a lame one to be, like, excited about, but he does Reddit reviews, like Simon does Reddit reviews. And recently I've been like, we got more lights and shit, and sometimes I'll just be at the studio just fucking around with the lights and seeing how I can make things look, putting them in different positions and all that. And recently I've nailed the lights. Like in my mind, I'm like, this looks fucking mint.
Yeah.
And it's just like shit like that where I'm like, because as well, at one point, like, I'm not just into like YouTube videography. At some point, I want to do like music videos, shit like that. There's like guys who've reached out. There's been the pandemic's kind of fucked it a little bit in terms of some of the shit. I've done one music video that was pretty fucking naff, but like those opportunities, because again, that's more like cinematic. Like I want to do shit like that because that's interesting as well. But then I just know, like, fuck it. I'm just here for the ride, mate. Whatever presents itself, I'll just fucking send it.
Like what is your like? So where I listen to the Sidemen, like, I do hear him mention sometimes, like especially Simon actually, about dwindling it down as they get older. And I hear him say something like oh, we do one video a month, like blah blah blah. Obviously, like it's a natural thing. Like, well, I hope it ain't, because I like watching it still. Like me and my girlfriend, every Sunday night we'll lay in bed, like we might get some food and we'll put Sidemen Sunday on. And like before, I remember being like 17 or whatever. I would never have told people that I was like, I watch the Sidemen all the time. You don't, like, it weren't the cool thing to do. Now, like, I'll tell anyone, like, I'll tell everyone, like,
see,
I can't wait for Sunday. Like,
I do like the Sidemen, but I got invested in Logan Paul before them. So I feel like I ain't got enough time to watch it all. But I'm more
leading on from that.
Yeah, that's a question I'm going to ask you. Logan Paul.
You met him, didn't you?
And Georgienko. I like Georgienko a lot.
Yeah, I did meet him. Yeah.
Is he? I'm hoping I get the right answer here, but is he a genuinely nice guy?
What, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
and Georgienko as well.
Georgienko. So I'll go Georgienko quick. He, from the cameraman perspective, is the kind of guy that you really want to work with, because he's interested in how you shoot the bit. Like, so he's willing to make time and allowances for you to get in the right position and light it. Because sometimes with Sidemen videos, like
almost like hungry.
It is like no, but he's like. Yeah. He's a comedian, right? He's like comedic type. His thing is he wants to be an actor. He wants to do all this. So like like when you have like someone like, let's say, Simon Pegg and movies like that, a lot of the focus is on how it's shot and the pans. And all these things. So when George would come up to me and on the boat, and he'd be like, dude, come over here. So I want you to stand here, and I want this to be shot like that. I'm like, yeah, and then we could do this. And he'd be like, yeah, exactly. So you like vibe off of like, you're going to make it funnier in the way that you film it. Exactly. And then Logan, I think he was on that boat again. I think
that was actually one. So I watched that one because of
the boat one. Yeah. So I got to talk to him probably for about like 20 minutes as we were coming back into shore, and I think I met him at an interesting time, because I think by that point he'd fought Mayweather.
Yeah, it was only a month, literally 2 weeks a month. Yeah, because he was in London with the Geordie Shore podcast, right? Well, he used that room, right? Yeah.
And yeah, it was like because I watch Impulsive, by the way. I watch. I like Logan Paul. I didn't used to like Logan Paul. I used to think, like, when he did the Japan thing, obviously, I don't know, he was like,
I was off YouTube at that point. I really discovered YouTube about 3 years ago, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I got big into Joe Rogan because
he's sick.
I basically went through this midlife crisis like you did, like, and I quit my job and everything. I just done what I wanted to do. And I used to watch Joe Rogan because my life was so lonely, because I went through this. And so I got into podcasting that way. And then, Well,
a quick one on that, by the way. Every backpacker male that you meet, you can always just be there and you go, you listen to Rogan. And I'm like, it's like the thing. It's like everyone's when they're on trains, when they're doing that.
They're intense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't need to understand dark matter to get this podcast running. So you got to pick. But Joe himself.
Yeah. But mate, on like on Impulsive, like, because you probably watch Impulsive there. I've been watching Impulsive. Yeah. I've been interested. So I'm a big fan of like redemption arcs, and Logan Paul has really, like, sincerely, I think, come back from that which is fucking which is sick. But even like, I think they're saying it on the podcast now, since fighting Mayweather, he like I think people could going clear, right? You've made enough money, you've sent it. You can just now put, if you made 40 million, you put 20 million in an investment fund. That makes 20% a year. Yeah. You've got it pays you 2 million a year without you having to do fuck all. You've already got a YouTube channel that has loads of videos on it that make regenerative money anyway. You've got a podcast, whatever.
PSA 10, Charizard.
I think he's on the path to being one of the most famous people in the world right now.
Oh, he already is.
Yeah,
he already
is.
He's
definitely he's up there.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah.
And so when I met him, he was like, they've said this on Impulsive. Since he did the Mayweather fight, he's just been doing precisely what he wants all the time. Yeah, like, he doesn't make vlogs anymore. I think he just goes out there and drinks and does whatever, because like, really, like, he fought Floyd Mayweather. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, it's Mike Tyson's on the cards apparently. I don't know how true that is, but when I met him, mate, it was really nice. I'll tell you. He was like, so what I liked about the conversation we had was he was very clearly actually listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't met too many, like, talent type people who are arseholes, sincerely. I haven't met anyone who was just, like, a pricks like that. I've heard a lot of reality stars are actually the ones that you really don't want to work with. Yeah. Because they just think they're massive.
It's the strangest
yeah.
like thing when they're probably the lowest.
Yeah.
This funny.
But he was really sincere and he was actually invested in it. And I'll tell you off air what precisely we talked about because it again is again I'm trying to keep a reputation up. But
can we guess before you tell us the conversation?
Well, yeah,
we
can.
What do you reckon he spoke about Logan Paul about?
Well, I'm just thinking, what would he speak to him about that he can't talk about on here?
Oh, you can't talk about it here?
No,
I can't.
No. He just said he
is
can't.
this the new project thing he's on about?
No, it's more like a reputation thing. Not for him specifically, more me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he can't
just
blurt it all out.
Okay.
But we can still have a guess and just just John doesn't say anything.
Oh, right, no. Let's just move on then.
We talked about some shared wild experiences. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Get it. Sorry. I thought it was going to be like a specific like advice thing, and I was thinking, it's going to be so random that we're never going to guess this. And
so basically, when I did, because I knew, like again, like so, meeting JJ was one thing. When I first started working for him, that was like it was the same. It was the same effect with Logan, right? But Logan had just fought Mayweather, and like even my dad didn't know KSI was, but my dad had heard Logan Paul by the time I'd met him, right?
Yeah.
So when he walked down the dock, there was definitely a sense of, oh, that's fucking surreal. Like that's really looking at him, that doesn't really make sense that he's physically in front of me. Yeah. So when it came time, like again, I'm not
that's
really
insane. You know,
it is mental. Well, I can't believe it. Yeah. But so like but it's surreal to like. Sorry, no, what was it? Like again, when I said earlier, I'm not someone. One of the things that I think is important when you're working as a videographer again is not like trying to talk to the talent all the time. When Logan was there, I wasn't going to just, even though I did want to, of course I want to have a conversation with him. He's a very interesting person. The whole time I was filming and doing my job, I didn't bother interacting. I just, nice to meet you.
That's professional.
Just being professional, right? Yeah. But when it came time to get the boat back, I'd already pre-planned what I was going to ask him or say to him because I knew like he's someone who would appreciate potentially a sincere conversation. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did appreciate it. How am I to know? Yeah. But as from what I, as a person to person, he was engaged in the conversation, it seemed like, and we had a nice long conversation. He was just like looking at me, and he like asked me a question, and he'd like think about it and ponder it, and he'd come back. So yeah, I thought at that time, but he was clearly, mate, he was drinking vodka all day, like that's in the video, like they was smashed, mate. And then after that, he'd probably just jetted off somewhere. That's what he's been doing. Like again, I watch Impulsive a lot, so he's just been going all over.
Yeah. So like, I get the vibe that, mate, not just him, but I get the vibe that once you're at that level and you've got that much trust in what you're doing, that everyone on the boat is considered a friend for that moment. So you don't need to approach the fella. Mm-hmm. He already knows and respects. Well, he respects you, and that's what I'm getting. Is that right?
Yeah, essentially. Mate, there's definitely a circle. There's definitely a circle of trust.
Do you understand what I'm saying by that?
Oh, I don't know.
He gets it.
Mate,
we go through this all the time. I think I'm pretty sure I said that right. And
I like how you say John hasn't even mentioned. You went, he gets it, and he's sitting there thinking,
he's sitting nodding at me.
I ain't got a clue.
No. I get
he has because when he does Impulsive, he acknowledges everyone on the set, and he treats everyone. It feels like they're all as a friend here, like we're all
but what we're saying, like, but John's behind the camera, so like obviously,
what I'm saying, there's no hierarchy. It doesn't matter. If he's KSI or the cameraman,
everyone who's there is there for a reason.
Yeah,
and he's weirdly, I don't want to use this term because it seems lame, but it is the circle of trust. Essentially, everyone who's there is because they're there either because the main person trusts them, or that the person they trust them. And like it's rare that you ever get an awkward situation on those sets because everyone knows that the people who are there do their job. Yeah. Like anyone, I'm like...
You've got to be good to be there as well, though.
Yeah. You have to have built a reputation, or you just need to be a grafter. You just need to be someone who just sends it.
Like we say all the time, like being a genuine, nice person, you can go so far just from that. People can tell that whether they like think it like properly actually like think about it, or if it's like a subconscious thing, you can tell a genuine person.
Yeah.
Like, just from one conversation. Some people are bad at
But
telling
you
it.
said
But
it,
like,
not everyone can. But
No, they
certain types
can't,
of
but-
personalities, they can. Like,
yeah, but I just feel like, well, yeah, I don't know. Like,
he's dodgy as fuck.
I just really, I really feel like I can
Sell
tell.
gear up.
Such a proud.
No, but
How much you got?
No, I'm
Stop
saying-
fucking drinking that, will ya?
That's that. I'm not putting much in it at a time. to be fair.
These pisses of fart people.
I'm not.
All right, wait. Oh shit.
You want some more of that?
Oh, mate, I'm still trying to get through it.
Just keep going. I don't really know what it is, but it's nice.
All right. Well, all right. That's what Logan Paul's like. So, you said that you've been working on the Sidemen for 2 years.
Yep.
It definitely weren't 2 years, like since I sort of.
Can you crack that, mate?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not good at it.
Yeah, it'd be my luck that I'll do it once to lose a tooth. And it's
I've chipped this one. I chipped it. Yeah, I always used
I've
to
got
do
off a
it.
tooth in the front.
Yeah,
It's nice.
You smashed the bottle.
Not on the table, not on the table.
go on, mate, I'll
This
figure it
this
out.
has
I'll
not been
figure it
lacquered. This table's not been lacquered.
It's all right.
It's going to be a running ball of paint.
Adds to the memories.
Yeah.
Chill out. Do you remember that time?
It's anxiety. It's anxiety. It's what
Make sure there's no glass in that, John.
No, I'll be all right, mate.
Would you want a Stella instead?
No, mate, it's what's
I can do it with my teeth, but obviously COVID, you don't want to.
I've had a few glassy beers, mate. Don't worry.
Just not be that podcast where like Sidemen cameraman, glass in the throat.
Catch his Omnicron.
John. Poor fella.
Yeah, so you said you've been doing it for 2 years. It's weird because like I was laying in bed like with my girlfriend. Like I said, I was watching.
Where's this
Sunday.
going? Bloody hell.
I've got to go weak, sorry. Just keep going.
He's wait, don't ever run like that ever again.
That's pretty bizarre.
Just gets up and runs out of his podcast. Yes, I remember seeing it was the one where they done like the pub crawl or something.
I remember the message.
Was that the first time you were on camera?
So, like, I wouldn't even qualify that. So, I get what you mean, as in, like, was it the first time that I'd been in the background for one?
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, literally, it was a split second, and I was like, I swear that was like a boy was in my phone. I said
So
to-
was it? So was it the pint downing?
Yeah, it must have been like the one where they end up in a circle in a park, like
So
around a big
was
tree.
it? So was it that you? So in that video, at one
Yeah.
point they go, "Oh, we got a pint for the cameraman," and then they give it to me, and then I down a pint.
Nah, well, it might have been later.
So you just see me in the background.
I saw like it might even be in the back of your head, John.
Oh man!
And then I heard someone say John.
Yeah,
and I thought,
yeah.
That's definitely him.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I can't remember at this point because like do you know what? That's quite probably in a way it's a bit sad because I remember the first time that I knew that I'd been in a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
Because not because I was like, oh, I'm going to be famous or anything like that.
No, but, like,
I remember,
still-
oh, this is going to be like what could come of this? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not because I thought anything would come of it. But it's just like, will anything happen? Because
Yeah.
like, I was there for 3 seconds. Like, who knows? Because mate, again, their fans are nuts. Like their fans are like in like not in a
No, but like they're diehard. Like
there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who really care about them.
Yeah.
That was one of the first when they got me to down the pint in that video. Yeah, that was one of the first ones. I think after that they paid me £400 in the video to drink hot dog brine.
I was going to get onto that. Oh, I thought it was pickle juice.
No, hot dog brine. Yeah,
Hot dog brine.
yeah.
Oh.
That doesn't seem that bad for $400.
Well,
Or pound, whatever it is.
which I later found out, some people just do anyway. So like, I
Oh,
was
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause-
get in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently, yeah.
that
mate, so that's good.
was the one where they was all making cakes. and
Yes,
stuff
yes,
in
so
their
that
house or something,
was-
or drinks or whatever.
So
it
that was cooking food from different countries.
Oh,
that was
okay.
different. Yeah, that was one of the post
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
And then, mate, weirdly, I then got paid £1,000 to do a shot of sambuca, which doesn't make any bloody sense. Like,
Unbelievable
What?
again.
Wait,
mate.
why?
Unbelievable.
Why?
again.
so it was. I think it was. Oh Christ! It was either A to Z drinking, so they had to drink something. Obviously, a name of every alcohol beginning with whatever, and it could be B for beer, like whatever. They bent the rules. It's a YouTube video.
This was this year, right? The very beginning of this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
mate. It's been a blur. I don't know the
Yeah,
days
I
of the week
bet.
anymore because I don't have like weekends. I'd,
Yeah,
it's
You're having
whatever.
so much fun. That's crazy.
Yeah. I send it. I've got to start looking after my health though. I'll be real. Like so I got the wedding next year, so I'm gonna slim down and cut out
Yeah.
a lot of the beer and that. Okay. But in terms of the why I ended up getting paid $1,000 to drink sambuca, which again I came home and told Kelly, and she was like, "What the fuck?" She was like, couldn't believe it. Like I kept on telling people, I don't know. But it was so JJ had at that point in the day, he like. I don't want to call JJ a lightweight, but JJ's known for like he gets pretty drunk pretty quick, and because I don't think he drinks all that regularly, especially since he was like training for boxing and that. Course, and he basically got to the S. They were at the S in the day, and it was a sambuca for him, and he was trashed. He was like, "No, man, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. No, I'm not doing it." John, and this is one of them weird situations because a lot of the time when I'm filming, I'll be like, I'm so in the zone that. Like that doesn't make like sense to me that they're mentioning my name. Yeah. And then when I snapped out of it, he was like, "Yeah, go on, John. I'll do it. I'll pay you. I'll pay whatever." Because I think the previous video 2 from that was the hot dog Brian. So there'd been a precedent set that I will do. Stuff.
You're that guy.
I will do stuff for money.
A whore.
Yeah, I am a dirty. Put whatever you want in my mouth.
You've become kind of one of the lads off screen.
Oh mate,
to a certain degree, right?
Whatever, mate. I'll be a like jackass guy if you want me to, mate. Literally, again, if they ever watch this, they probably
eat that bottle.
Unfortunately, might not. Who knows? Hopefully, one of them will. But I will do more for money, guys. I will do as much. I don't care, mate. Like, I think that shit's funny. Like, we all grew up on Jackass. Like, you know, everyone thinks Steve-O's the man. Like, it's But yeah, so it basically started off as. He was like, "Go on, I'll pay you for what? I'll pay you." And I was like, he was like, "Oh," tried to go to a certain price, and I was like, "Nah." And it kept going up and going up, and basically all the other boys were going, "No, you can't pay him to do that. You can't pay him to do that." And at that point, I honestly, because it got up to like $1,000, and I was still saying no, and because all the other boys were like, "No, you can't do that. You can't just wimp out of the like bet essentially by not drinking it." And in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, you can't do that. Like, you can't wimp out of the bet," because I was trying to coalesce all their feelings as well, and I basically had said no up until the point of like $2,000. Where he was offering me $2,000 to drink it, and then Simon went, "I'll do it for $2,000," and he took the money, and I was like, "Fuck!" Yeah. But then Simon did a big brain play and went, "John, I'll pay you $1,000 to drink it." And by that point, again, the precedent we said that it didn't matter anymore. Yeah. So I was just like, "Yes, yeah, fucking just snatched it before anyone could say no." Because I was like, "That's a nice little bonus for the day."
I'll see why Simon's your favourite now.
Oh yeah. Well, that's definitely everything to it. That was a good day. Mate. That's again. It's like, mate, at this point, it's. Everything that I'm doing, all the hustle is just for a deposit for a house at this point because after coming back from Australia, mate, I was fucking broke. So I'm just building it back up.
You're still very young. Like I don't talk like that. I think you've gained.
I want babies, mate. I want to have babies.
Incredible. I've got a baby like lingering around at home, and she's lovely.
Have you?
Yeah, I got a baby now. Yeah.
Mate, that's fucking dope. What the fuck?
She's 1.5. I went to see Santa Claus earlier on, and she's giving him the good old.
Mate, that's so sick.
Yeah,
no. Oh, I'm laughing because I'm just thinking Lee's so drunk.
I'm not drunk. No, I'm just relaxed. I'm relaxed. I'm not drunk.
I'm just relaxed.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Yeah, she's
so sick, bro.
She's 1.5. Yeah. Nice.
Mate, that's so sick.
Thank you.
That is good.
Thank you.
As being a dad.
She's very cute.
I've got one good picture I need
cute.
to show you because it's one of Zach's favourite photos as well. It's the one on the podcast. She loves it. She's a natural. And I ain't got $1,000 to pay you to drink fucking hot dog juice.
Well, then why am I here, Lee? Why am I here?
But yeah, love it.
Oh, that's fucking
That's
jokes,
cute,
mate.
innit?
I fucking love that, bro.
I can't do shit.
Yeah. Flash it up. Flash it on the screen.
Fuck 'em, man.
All right. I wrote down some little.
Oh, don't worry, mate. They do this on What's Good. They check.
Yeah, this is actually talking about what's good. What's Randolph like as well? Because I hear him banter you a lot.
So that comes up a lot of people like, God, he really rinses you, and I'm
I don't think it's in a horrible way.
Oh no! At some point, something like, "You motherfucker, why you being so mean?" But no, it's mate. Again, it's all banter. Yeah. It's like Randolph's medium for communication is banter. Like he's just a banter lord. Like,
he's very funny as well.
Oh, he is. But mate, Randolph and me, like I like because he's like. The way that I'm eccentric, I think he's eccentric in his own way. Like he's got his own Pokemon channel, but he's a rapper as well. So like he does his own thing in his own way. But mate, no, again, he's been nothing but good to me and giving me more opportunities. Like I make videos for his channel as well sometimes. Like so that again, I can't be grateful enough because that's
like music videos. Did you do any of them for him?
No. I haven't done any significant music videos yet. But again, I'm gonna burp. But I want.
It's cool to have a guest that understands the rules. You're the first guest that spoke this far into the mic the whole time.
Oh mate, I'm very aware because every time I'm filming What's Good, I'm always sitting there like, you motherfucker, because mate, the audio listeners, we care about the audio listeners. You know?
Dave.
Is Dave on it? Is there a Dave?
You know Dave Loading.
He's a regular.
But he's a nightmare.
Dave.
Big bad Dave.
Big man, Dave. I love that. No, mate. Dave was someone I have positive memories of. So big up you, mate.
Do you know what?
He's a lovely boy.
It all started with that, but it feels like the more people that we bring in from school and vibe with, it feels more right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're starting to get Dave on more and more and more, and it feels normal. It feels good with Dave here.
I always just remember him as being like a super nice guy.
He is.
Mate, he is. I've never heard one bad word about Dave.
No.
No one has ever told me that Dave's pissed him off.
No. Well, no, yeah.
In your group, but my experience, and I've known him since I was like 4, 5.
No, yeah. He's probably the nicest boy you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
But me and Dave are basically brothers because we both got dippy chests. So, we both share that.
Have you?
Have you got one of them?
I'm not going to I was about to whip it out. I must be a bit tipsy. But yeah, I got a dippy chest.
What is that about? Like,
it's called pectus excavatum. It is actual thing where if it's...
I'm fucking spelling that, mate.
Yeah, where if it gets to... if it gets to a certain point, you can have heart and lung problems, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember... I mean, I don't want to just talk about Dave's...
Oh, I'm good, yeah.
I think it's for your developing years, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's actually so there was at one point I was talking to my dad about it, because at some point in school I definitely felt away about it, and on top of that God was just like, yeah, fuck you, and he slapped I've got a big birthmark on my chest the size of that, so not only does it dip and my rib comes out here a little bit.
I don't know,
but it's you in it. Like for you, it's a lot more intense. It's
yeah,
like every blemish you got, you'll notice it before anyone else does. Yeah, mate. At some point when I was younger, when we were quite young, as we were doing, I said to my dad, I fucking hate it so much that we were looking at corrective surgery. And what the corrective surgery? It would have put me out of school for 8 months.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this from speaking to Dave.
I'm sure
they break your ribs, and then they put in metal shit, and then you have to heal your whole fucking chest back over.
Because I don't want to get too personal, but I'm sure Dave had a problem with his confidence about his one, wasn't it?
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course.
I'm sure you're a teenager at the end of the day.
Mate, so your pectoral development is hard as well. Like what it is like, because as well, like, mate, let's put it this way. Like at school, right? When we was like, let's say, I don't know, like year 8 or whatever, we're all going swimming and whatever. No one's really like, I was about to say something deep. No one's really tubby or skinny. Which is, again, I was going to bring this up at some point. Congratulations. And all, this is so late in the game now because you've been skinny for so long. But
we did a pitch. I can't remember.
Yeah. But he was getting. He was a
big boy.
I remember thinking he was
tubby. But at that point, I was like malnutrited. What was that? Malnourished. Yeah, I was at that point. I was so skinny, right? Like you could see how bad my ribs were.
I love how I was going to bring this up. Like you just waiting for the right cue.
No.
You were fat.
No. I just because as well. Like I was.
I am a someone.
Like because I remember one of them times you go on Facebook and you see someone who was on the larger side, and now they're not. And then, like, if I ever saw you again, I was always thought it'd be nice to say to him, "Well done about that. That's really good on you. Like, it's nice to lose weight, isn't it?" But it is. It must. Again, it must be.
How's you breathing?
But just quickly finish that point. Like being at school, and then like everyone else just is of a generally standard weight, right? There's not that much deviation. Everyone's
young and skinny, and yeah.
But so like there's a general normal shape that everyone has, and you just don't have it. So So you look at it and you're like, oh, well, just fucking shit, because you're lucky bastards. Like this is because as well. I basically learned very quickly that I was told through like looking it up, and I was like, well, what the fuck's wrong with me precisely? That if I did try and get pecs, it was going to be a long journey. No, not that I fucking attempted that journey yet. But
but you're doing it for your wedding. I mean, I don't know how. I would almost guarantee you that yours is nowhere near as severe as Dave's.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, I know. Dave had it.
Dave's got a great body.
What, is he been like pumping iron?
He goes to the gym. Like he's not like me and him used to go to the gym like all the time, and but like. He got to he's very naturally skinny, Dave. So he finds it hard to put on size anyway.
Dad's skinny's all right, isn't he?
Yeah. Like they're like a very slim family. But like when he takes his top off, I remember being young and seeing that and always thinking like, oh, that's like that is deep. But he was probably like a bag of bones back then. But now like I don't notice it at all. So I know it's hard and it looks different. Obviously, like his pec shape is different from what. Most of us.
We'll try and think about it in this way, right? Imagine the first time you go to have sex as well.
Yeah.
Like, going throw to that. That's kind of as well when you really think about it, because, like, let's say you've met this chick and you haven't ever had your top off. There's like a point where she like. It's
an elephant in the room, isn't it?
It's not that a lot. It's not that deep, but she might go, oh. Like she might have a bit of a think about it because you don't expect someone to have a big dent in their chest, and in my case, a big birthmark as well. So like it's again like, but mate, like, you know,
To be honest,
all the girls I've ever been with are just
It's
like,
worse. It's always going to be worse in your head.
It's
of
always
course.
worse in your head because I was always.
I remember seeing Dave's first time and didn't really think much of it.
Oh mate, I saw it and I was like, brother.
Yeah, but in his head, it's fucking.
Yeah.
Oh mate, yeah, I'm gonna work. I like, you know.
Sorry, Dave. I don't know why Dave's.
No, shout out to the brother. Shout out to the brother.
In this one.
Right, one of the other things I've got on here is, do you like? And I sort of know the answer to this as well because I did hear you talk about this on the What's Good one. But what are you going to start recording yourself?
So it's weird, right?
And by that I mean obviously
Where's the
like
line where
uploading
you
to
do
YouTube.
your own thing, basically?
So all right. I'll set it up like this. The guys that I work with, like, there is a certain element of it. God damn it! I'm going to make really good points here. I need to burp every 5 seconds.
No, you're more welcome, mate.
Right. So the guys that I
Give me some of that.
the guys that I work with are like, you know, again, they're very entrepreneurial minded. They're very business minded about YouTube, and they're very invested in the data driven side of it and the analytics. So they think about the thumbnail, they think about the title, they think about YouTube metas as in like concepts that are doing well and all of this. And it's like chasing the algorithm, sometimes people call it.
We'll talk about that afterwards if you don't mind.
Yeah, we definitely can.
Yeah, okay.
And so people who tend to go from being a cameraman to doing whatever also chase the algorithm. They want to make that Mr. Beast video. They want to make the video with a title that slaps and has like a mad thing. And like, if I was making YouTube content, man, like I just... Again, I liked like living in the car and doing shit like that. Like I like it's not fascinating. It's very like niche, and I'm not saying it's niche as in like a very specific special interest that no one can get. It's just like I just like shit that I like, and I wouldn't want to make videos going, "What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be giving 10 homeless people $50,000."
I do get the vibe that you're in for it for the actual filming.
Yeah.
Not the ego of the content.
Yeah, because I know that I could make... I feel like that's where the strong point that I could potentially have is filming something in a way that was at least interesting, where you could watch it and be like, oh, that's a cool angle or whatever. That's so
you don't want to be like J Station.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting that name to come out today. No, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But
he's unreal.
I feel like I'm missing something here.
He does things called like 3 a.m. challenges, where with the latest celebrity to die, he will literally...
What?
So imagine like who
Mac Miller was one.
Yeah, Mac Miller died, and then he does these things where he pretends that they're calling him at 3 a.m. because he knows it's a title like Mac Miller called me at 3 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like so he's just an asshole that's utilising people's deaths to get as many views as possible.
Is he English?
No, he's an American dude.
Okay.
But like the way again, man, like it's just terrible. Wow. You need to watch one to get it.
It's like the lowest form of like drawing.
And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, of course.
He's not an idiot. He doesn't think he's on the phone to Mac Miller. He's always like, "Oh my god, guys, look, it's Mac Miller on the phone," and it's clearly like he's just changed the name to Mac Miller, and the voice is going. Or some shit. It's so dumb, mate. It's bad. But yeah, mate. Like again, like so. I don't know. I feel like I have 1 or 2 ideas that I think are like interesting. I think like I don't know if you know Zach and Jay are, but Zach and Jay, they have a really, I'd say successful to my mind.
Who is that?
They're like they make videos.
I recognise it.
Yeah, Zach and Jay make videos like so. They did one where they got their mate into Fashion Week. Like by just like hyping it up and faking it, they break into like they got into Mayweather. They were the kids who got into. Kids. They're alright. They're young.
Did they break into Dan Bazirian's house once?
Yes, they snuck in. So a lot of their things were sneak-ins, but they always do things like
they look like nice people.
They're mate. So like they're people I haven't met yet. So I have like a little tick list of people I think are really cool that I've got to meet.
Can we talk about it after that? Let's talk about that.
Sure.
What your tick list? Okay.
But those guys make stuff that they just are interested in. Like they went to the UK Conkers Championship because they're interested in the weird people there and what stories they can get out of and the enthusiasm of those people. But again, it's more like the way they shoot is like style is like, mate, if they had a BBC budget or a BBC Free budget or an ITV4, whatever the fuck level of TV you want, it would be like nuts what they could do. But they do all this like the way they film because they've come from film backgrounds, but they just make it like interesting. And that's what I'd be looking to do. But it's interesting you bring it up now because I've only recently, I think, like the way I'm talking here now in this podcast, like you saw me on What's Good, right?
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Well, I mean, I listened to it. I didn't see you, but like I could tell. Like
I was mentioned.
You weren't.
Yeah.
The first camera I ever got on, I shat myself. And at the time, I was so fucking nervous.
Oh yeah, we went.
But when I watch it back, it's not as bad as you feel.
We went
not.
on that, like you said earlier, just quickly. Like obviously, we want to talk more about you, but like we went on that Launch Pod Studios when he invited us down.
Yeah.
So it's the first time we've been in the room with like all this camera set up. We're usually in like a
It's
restaurant or
overwhelming,
something like that.
It is overwhelming.
Yeah, but like I'd done streaming, so I didn't really care too much. So like, I'm about to do the intro, and I looked to my right, and Lee was looking at me. His eyes were all like glazed over, and I thought, "Oh my god,
He's gonna die."
I am somebody like I am. It's the same thing. I'm not. My family, the way we are, we're not center of attention. It's not my game. It's like when I'm a center of attention, I'm stuttering and it's fucking bad. But then suddenly I'm doing this podcast with this guy that keeps inviting us down. He's like, "This is real." I'm like, "Okay, cool." We went down there, and I just.
Yeah, I remember.
Like,
I could hear the fucking fridge, like that. But it was over. But then when I watched it back, it wasn't so bad.
No,
Well, to me, I think it's
was a test.
time.
It's a test.
I think the amount, like, it's more you get used to it after, and this is what this is now. And I've recently, like, Con's put me in a few more of his videos in like certain ways, and Con's always filming. And it's only like, I don't know, something just twigged in my head where like I watched myself for times when I was awkward and I knew precisely what it was that I was doing. And again, it was like of overthinking, because I just stopped thinking about like, oh, just be really funny in this moment or think of something really interesting to say.
It's banter, isn't it?
And just hang out, just chill out, just say what you want to say. Because like at the end of the day, if you are going to make a career of doing something like this, it's best that you do it just being as chilled and as yourself as you can, because that way it's going to be less effort when the time comes that maybe you blow up. Who knows?
Yeah, like you can only be the nicest person you can be, and if it doesn't work out of that zone, then they're just haters. Like that's the attitude I've got of it. Like,
mate, I'm eager for a hate. I actually haven't had like, because I get like DMs from people.
We got one like this week. We got a first hate this week.
Oh, you got your first hate? Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me.
Oh, well, I mean, he's left a review and he's called us.
By the way, he watched the whole. He watched the entire episode.
He called us racist.
Have I come onto a racist podcast?
No.
Have I fucked it?
No,
What did you say? What did you say?
It was in a song. It was in a song like we done like an accent, and he's done learn about and it was. But like I googled his name after, and he'd left loads of bad reviews on loads of podcasts. So it was water off a duck's back, really.
Oh mate, look, again, like you just got to think about what kind of state someone's in to like leave that kind of thing where they're not focused on their own life enough that they can go around leaving negative reviews and shit.
Yeah, exactly. But go on, what were we saying before that?
Oh, crikey.
You were going to say, you were just about to say something. But if we can't remember
the first time you being glazed over.
Oh, no, I was nervous and it was fine. I felt worse than I looked.
Yeah, mate. I just think it's time. I just do think it's time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You just get used to it. It's just so much easier.
Do you see yourself someone in front of a camera, or do you like the idea of being in control of both sides? Like,
here's the funny bit. I have shot some vlogs. I have vlogged my like doing things like that. It was like, so the first week that I did a Tommy Innit video, I was like, so it was like one of my most intense weeks. I did 6 days. Some days I did 2 shoots, and I had Sidemen, Tommy Innit, all these other like Simon.
Oh, was it the hide and seek?
Sidecast.
Oh,
no. So on Side and Seeks we don't shoot those.
Sorry, just for this, what do you mean by a shoot?
A shoot. So a shoot is when you go and film anything, really.
So the whole content as one.
Yeah. So if you say I'm going on a shoot, you'll like. It's stolen from the film industry. YouTube is what we call in the film industry. We call it new media more so. But a lot of the guys who have come in now because they like the freedom of not being like attached to.
I think they're equal.
I think it's better.
If not YouTube, is a better reach than it is actually going on TV.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I completely. And as well, the problem is new media is constrained because they have a lot of sponsors and things like that, so you can't really do what you want. But that's why we're attracting all the that's why all of these terms are coming into the YouTube sphere, is because we're attracting guys who don't want to be constrained by sponsors and want to do all these other things. Yeah. So we again we're taking their techniques as well, and that's streamlining what we're able to do, because it's a bit like the Wild West. Because if you're on a film set, sometimes there's like, and I have, so since being on the YouTube side, I have gone back and worked with, like, when I learned about lighting, I ended up working with a guy who's quite a big like director of photography, like he's done McDonald's adverts and things like that, and like I learned about lighting and things like that. But to get anything done on that set, you had to talk to 5 people. Yeah, like you had to talk to 5. Whereas on a Sidemen shoot, it just happens. It's just so sick. It just happens right in front of you.
To a certain degree, if you take the initiative just to do something, you become the genius, right? Is that where
expand on that? Expand that.
Is that where you're at? So if you choose to do something that you feel that's right, but you don't ask somebody.
Well, it's more that it's more organic what happens because it doesn't go through a filter and then you're getting the real thing and you don't have to do multiple takes. Like people sometimes think with Sidemen, oh, they plan it, they fake it, or they do whatever. We don't ever like retake anything. The take that we get is as good as we get. If you do a film or something, or like, let's say you do Come Dine With Me, or Come Dine With Me. I'm sorry if I'm breaking anyone's heart here, but
I don't watch it.
I do weirdly. I don't know why. I've always
He's
found
already
it.
on 16.
What sad little life, James.
Yes, mate, yeah, that one. But it's like
bad when you see Come Dine Me on Netflix. You're like, oh shit.
yeah, mate, but they might get them to walk out of the kitchen again with the plate for the first time. And I don't know why, like, it just kills something. But even that little subtle little things kill it.
Well, saying that, like, I was up working up London, and there was the two people interviewing for Discovery Channel, and they was like, "Oh, can we just like ask you a question for this documentary about Winston Churchill?" And I was like, "Oh, what do you know about him?" And like, I went, "Not much really." I know, like, my nan's got a sculpture of his head on her mantelpiece, and I was like, "Oh, that's great. Can you say that again?" And I was like, say again.
Yeah.
And then like the second time, I'm like, I don't know really. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's acting. Yeah.
So yeah.
At that point, like, so what I have done shoots like that, but with YouTubers, but it's like everyone knows that that's what's happening. That's what I don't like about some things is that you don't know that they're doing that. Like Come Dine With Me, you're not kind of explicitly known that. But if you're shooting like skit comedy stuff, like we're like, say we're doing a Tommy Innit thing, and we there's a good line that got said on the spin, but we think we can add more to it, and we do another take because we think we can make the take better or we can film it better. That's more where I appreciate those kind of bits.
So does he do that, Tommy, in it? I've never watched.
So it's not like most things are on the fly. Most things are very much on the fly. It is all very real, but like there's definitely an element of like Tommy in it is invested in like the art form of filming. He likes it more. So like, do you know Bo Burnham is?
Yeah.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that Netflix thing?
Inside.
Yeah.
I'm
good.
actually a big fan. A big influence of mine was him at the beginning.
Oh right,
But making music is the hardest fucking thing.
Yeah, mate.
I know why people don't make them. It is the most draining fucking thing. It's fun when you send them over and people like them, but it is so fucking. It's not way of life. I'm not gonna lie. Mate, it is hard, but we try to release songs. Not as often.
Lee, fucking.
Who's we? Sorry, who's we?
Us.
What do you mean songs?
No, like we do
mate.
like comedy songs on some of the episodes.
There's one song I think you're gonna love about this.
Comedy songs.
Lee, you are so drunk.
Am I that bad?
You are drunk.
I don't think I
don't know.
I can't qualify.
He thinks this is normal, Lee.
This is it.
I think it's a good band. I don't know.
Should
I be worried? Should I be concerned? Is he gonna kiss me?
Well, I'm just trying. I want to.
Should I be worried that he's not gonna kiss me?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I'm trying to get the clips out of John.
Oh yeah, come on in.
No one wants to hear about our songs. We talk about them on every other episode.
I'm gonna walk off. I walked off last week.
Oh, you just walked off a minute ago as well.
Does your dad's shit still stink, by the way?
You know what? There's a lot more shit in here.
Oh, that's a bar. That is a bar.
No, anyway, go on.
I don't know. He's clip farming. What clip? Go on. What you got?
No. I was just trying to get like. I want to know what Tommy Innett's like as well.
So that was like working with him was bizarre. Like or getting to work with him was bizarre because I knew he was like at this point. Like it's kind of related to my job to know who's who and what's going on. Because like I work on the podcast, so I work on the Sidecast, which is like a Side Plus podcast, and then I basically help direct the What's Good podcast.
Yeah.
And like part of that is like they need to be able to turn to you and like fact check things, and whether that's typing or you just know about it. I feel like it's useful for me to watch a lot of YouTube, know who's who, know what's going on, vaguely watch a few of their videos, know what their most recent big thing was.
To a certain degree, you get paid for what you know as well. Right?
Exactly. And it's like, mate, at this point, I just get to watch YouTube. So I'm just watching YouTube anyway, but it serves me well because as well, people like the fact that they can turn around and go, what was his last video? And I go, yeah, he punched a duck.
Yeah.
And so Tommy in it was weird. Like I knew who he was. He came along. We got there. We ate some pizza. I was on down. I must admit, I was very stressed out. I was having some issue with cards. I've got 4 cameras, loads of lights, all that shit. I'm in charge of 4 cameras. Like like 5 different lights, like whole like the sets lights up itself. There's all these different things that I have to take care to, and the audio. Like there's a producer who listens to the audio time, but I'll help him set that up as well. And like just the position of things anyway. But so we chilled out before, and I was stressed because something had gone wrong minorly on my end. And when I finally broke out of it, everyone had ate their pizza but him, and I just was like, Tommy, let me eat your pizza. And I hadn't talked to him the whole time he was there. But I was like, he went, of course, man, you can have my pizza, whatever. So then the podcast started, and the only.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just wanted the pizza because
I love this fella as well.
Mate, I've been stressed
I would've
out.
sold it.
I'd been stressed out the whole time, and all I wanted to do was eat. And I just looked at him and went, "You gonna eat that?"
Yeah.
And so the next thing was like during the podcast,
It's so likeable.
like me and my so there's a guy that I've started working with like on the last year, James, who we collab on a lot of shit. Like me and him are like co-directors essentially, and me and him found Tommy's memes to be very funny because we are immature little bitches. Yeah. And we found it so fun. Like some of the shit he was saying, like, and Simon and Randy are a lot more mature than we are and a lot more successful than adult males. So they didn't get the memes because they're entrepreneurs. Yeah. They don't have time to sit around watching random ass shit like that. But mate, I still find that shit. Like I love that shit. But afterwards he was like, oh yeah, you guys like get it. And like whatever, I'm gonna add you on Instagram, like just so in case I ever need to film something, I can like add you guys and whatever. And then James and him ended up like talking, and basically, we somehow ended up filming some of his video. I'm not saying we're like it's not the same setup as the Sidemen. Yeah. I don't film for him full time or anything, but when we can and when it's like it works out, we will film for him. And like it's just fucking it's interesting in its own way because he's 17, right? Yeah. But he's so smart. Like he's like his head.
Yeah, I was gonna say like As much as I'm confused about the guy, it doesn't make sense how you can be that successful.
So he went.
It's almost like wait.
Mate, do you know the stats?
It just confused. Yes, I do. Like since the podcast with Logan Paul.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
So obviously, when I first heard him, I was like, I don't know you. I don't to a certain degree. I don't care. But there's a part of me like he's grown so far, so big that it's just. He has to sink in, right?
Oh, mate.
That's how successful this guy. This guy's massive.
Oh, mate. So
massive.
Just for your audience who doesn't know him, he over lockdown, it was 100,000 subscribers to 10 million.
Really?
Yeah.
To 10 million from Minecraft.
From Minecraft, yeah.
Mainly.
So he was on something called the Dream SMP server.
Yeah.
And the Dream is like the big. I mean, I don't understand.
Dream was doing the Among Us.
Yeah, and he's affiliated with Mr. Beast. There's a whole mechanism there that I don't. You're going for a big way. But yeah, so that whole like, mate, I don't get how the whole mechanism works entirely. I'll be like, I don't watch too much. I like Minecraft. I have played Minecraft. Yeah, I think it's fucking sick. It's good fun, isn't it? Like, but by the time I beat the Ender Dragon within 3 days, I'm like, what am I doing now?
It's like it's going back to we come full circle. You just go into a forest, you build a house with a pool.
There we are. There's almost YouTube video. And to a point as well, you're like, I need to get back to reality for a bit. It was and mate, I'm just happy I've lucked upon it. I don't know how long that will continue, like working with him. Whenever I'm available, I'll fucking do it because it's just it's the same thing. It's just something different. It's fun, and again, it's interesting to see a 17-year-old who's that switched on. Yeah, I can imagine. It's like, because as well, you think about yourself at 17, you go, you dickhead, what were you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? How did you not realise that the world was in front of you like this? And as well, like, he's just like, he has no insecurities. Like, to me, it seems like...
Well, yeah, it's almost like from the... So I've never watched his videos, but I've seen him on the Sideman video now. And heard him on the What's Good podcast.
Did you see his video with KSI, where KSI taught him to ride a bike? Mate, that's how mad he is, right? Because the only reason he collabs more than anyone else, to my mind, and this is my opinion. This isn't like truth or anything, but he collabs with so many people because he genuinely doesn't give a shit, and he sends everyone messages going, "Want to be in a video with me?" Like, no YouTuber I know. Like,
you almost sounded like him then as well.
Yes, I spent too much time around him.
But that's a perfect example of like not giving a fuck.
Mate.
Which is contagious. Like,
mate, most people are scared, like in YouTube that I know, like really to send a collab to someone because they don't like, everyone's busy and they're all this level. Yeah, they don't like rejection. Like, that's one thing that is the best thing to build out of anything is rejection tolerance. When you're trying to get into anything, rejection tolerance is massive. He just didn't give a shit, and he messaged Logan saying, "Bring me on your podcast, Logan." And then he messaged. That's how he got on the What's Good one.
That
he was
sounded
like,
him.
He was like, "Bring me. What you bring me on your podcast?"
He's very witty.
He is. What about the way he pronounces weed?
Hey, Logan. you want to smoke some weed?
He has a confidence that he's actually even Logan doesn't have. There's something about, I don't know what it is. Like,
someone's injected him with what you get when the knowledge in your 20s about how much of a shit you should give about precisely what other people think. And he also kind of gets like, so look, we all go out, we all go have a good time, we get on the bevs, we do whatever. But sometimes when we're just we sober or we hung over and we go, why the fuck do I do this all the time? I really should just, I could lead such a productive life if I didn't do that. Someone's injected him with that knowledge. Like someone, he just knows that some of this shit's unproductive, and he knows that he can retire by 30 if he just keeps going the way he is. And then at 30, like, so retiring in the YouTube sense, I don't think is the same thing as what most people say. It's more like you have such a freedom that you can literally just make whatever the fuck you want all the time, and that's where he's going to get to. You can just do whatever. At this point, I'm trying to get there by 45. I'll be real.
Oh, mate, a lot can happen in a very short amount of time. I don't think you need to be 45 the way you're going at the minute anyway.
I'm going to be president, mate.
Like, well, there we go. You never know, mate. You're willing.
Like regardless of how much you're worth or whatever it is, when you retired, that's basically saying, I'm done. So are you ever going to be done? Is my question.
No, I'll never be done.
Yeah, you thought I was going to be. This is going to be a fuck up. Was it? You
No, I did. I always think, where's this going?
Never. I'm always, mate. It's always got to be like, but full send what I'm interested in, and I'll find whatever mechanism I can to make that somehow monetary, because otherwise I'm just gonna. I will just go back to Australia and labour until I get enough money to invest in the next thing. Yeah. As soon as I get bored of this, which I'm not gonna. There's no risk of that. Say I did. I would just go do that again and figure out the next thing, whether it be painting or whatever. But at the moment, this is the shit. This is
of course.
This is it, and I care a significant amount. Like, it's just it's good to have something that, like, I'm committed to it.
I mean this in the nicest way. Like, I don't know how these are going to turn out, but I think
you're
a person.
Oh shit! Sorry.
No, he's
bleep it. Where are we at? What time? Don't get a time code. Bleep it.
He got a bit little. It was like, So I don't know if it fully came out.
I think you have got a long way to go. Like, as I think you've got more. I think as a personality, I don't think you belong behind the camera 100%.
Oh, okay. Not in your own personality, as in like a personality in front of the camera.
I think what we are witnessing and what you're witnessing or whatever, I think it's only the beginning of what you're going to be like.
Well, this is very surreal. Do you know why? Because you two are both sitting on these sides of me. There's two lights there and there's a camera there. And this is like, I'm just like, this is very intense, because I'm just like, you're saying something very lovely. And it's like, obviously, mate, look, I appreciate that. Mate, so to have that voucher of confidence in me is from someone who, like, when we were growing up, like, again, I cared a lot about your opinion as well. I cared about everyone's opinion at school. It's like intense. Oh, mate, look, if I figure it out, I'll figure it out. I think what you guys are doing is fucking excellent as well. But this is like, mate, I take inspiration from you guys doing this, sincerely. Like, this is nice.
I appreciate that.
We was just saying on the last episode, it's not been released yet, but it's just, we fell into this by accident, and then you just turn up.
No, but like, it goes back to that.
Well, I did offer to shoot the fucking podcast, boys, but you fucking turned me down.
No. We're fucking financially embarrassed.
No, it's not about money, right, John? But with the way things are, I've always been a personality that likes to suss a room out before. Where you're the paranoid type that's overthinking a room. I'm the opposite, right? But I think the way you've been, I think you've underestimated yourself. And I think you're very humble about that. And I think you're on this self journey. And I think what people buy is you, not the filming. I think there's something about you that you've not personally completely accepted. It's the same thing with Zach. This guy is like,
I don't know. Don't bring me
you be like that. Eh? I'm giving you a compliment. Like,
yeah, I know.
Compliment.
No, you're a big meme lord as well.
Zach that like bear in mind.
So a big meme lord.
Yeah, you're a meme lord.
When we first,
you, me, and George Tappis back and forth. That's it. The meme lords.
It was good times.
When we first started this podcast, I didn't really know this guy at all.
Oh, this was a shock to me. I had no idea that you two were friends. It was.
No, we weren't.
Fuck.
We weren't.
Episode 1 was the beginning of our friendship.
Our first episode was probably.
Wait. What do you mean you didn't fucking hang out before that? Who fucking put this together then?
Oh, mate.
It was just a message
Random.
over. He had a podcast before. I messaged him.
We went down the pub and spoke for like 2 hours.
But sorry, who was the common link? Who got you together?
I think Zach messaged first. I think it was very brief. It was very brief, and then I got into podcasting. Well, actually, I didn't get into podcasting. I done podcasting because most of my friends like to smoke weed and I didn't. So I was like, why don't you come over and we'll just fucking record this shit, and it's fucking hilarious. And so I'm proud to say that I know a lot of nice people. Like, I pride myself on the people in my life are just generally nice, heart-filled individuals, right? So I was confident in who I put together is always going to be good, right? And then I randomly got a text from him or a Instagram, whatever, and then it was okay because I didn't know I wanted to do a podcast at that point. I thought this was a laugh, right? And then he heard it, and then he messaged me, and then I got drunk when I was with the in-laws. And I was like, you know what the fuck not? So I messaged him out of spontaneously. He was like, yes, let's do it. We went out for like a Guinness.
Yeah,
I remember, right?
Cheeky slags.
And so I gave him the spiel of my life, right? 20 minutes.
Zach, I love you, bro.
I must have been the biggest condescending, arrogant prick.
Oh, yeah.
I gave him a spiel, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell him exactly what's going on in my life because I was transparent of this is the crack, right? Mm-hmm. He came out with like 5 sentences. I was like, okay. What the fuck did I just do? Like, I felt the biggest prick when I left. And then he was like, yeah, let's just do the podcast. And then here we are today, like.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Mate,
again, it was like I said to Adam a few so Adam, for anyone who doesn't know, Adam Jabber is someone who went to school with us.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have just fucking out his last name like that.
I know. That's why I didn't want to bring up the other name.
He doesn't give a shit. But yeah, so he was just like, oh. Yeah, they're doing something together. It's just like, you know, as far as like, I mean, I have a vague idea of the friend groups that existed in school beyond being in school, and I wasn't sure that there was any overlap or whatever like that. But whatever. Do you get? I mean, I don't know if at this point we'll do this afterwards. I'm gonna ask you about what school and who you know, things like that. But we've got a lot more clickbait to get out of this. I feel so.
He's the crazy thing. Like in school, I never really belonged anywhere. Like to this day, I don't belong anywhere, and when I left school, because I didn't belong anywhere, it's actually turned out to be like a personality type thing, right? But I never really belonged anywhere. I didn't fit in anywhere. So my friends, they're very strange, but they're also very cool, and they're very, like, it's such a weird fucking spectrum of friends that I've got that it doesn't make sense when I explain it, right? But so I don't belong anywhere, so I just done my own thing from school. And same thing like yourself. As soon as I left school, I went quiet. Like, I pride myself on the lower, like, instead of getting as big Instagram, I pride myself on the lowest it gets, because generally...
Yeah, you got to get those brand deals in, brother.
Yeah.
Brand deals.
The brand deals come from the lemon squeezes, right? But as a journey in my lifetime,
I know what you mean.
I'm on a self-discovery. I'm on the pursuit of happiness, kind of. It does it. Followers, money, it's all a certain degree, and it's all figuring.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Most people think the biggest flex you've got is money, and it's not. It's mental health. The biggest flex you have is mental health, and I've suddenly hit that in the last few years, and I don't really know how to explain this. You've obviously been through it, right? Because you sit there nodding at me, right?
Yeah.
He's looking at me like,
yeah, I got.
He's like, I don't understand, bruh.
I got one,
right?
Yeah.
But mental. It's the first time in a long time.
Yeah, no, go on.
Am I being weird right now?
No. Go. Keep going.
He's the professional, by the way.
No, keep going.
He's the professional.
Let him talk.
No.
We've had one whole hour of this.
Would you like that?
I just need something to clip me in.
No. I'm with you, right? So one of the go on. I actually want to let you finish. Come on.
Let's pan the camera of this guy right now.
Go on, finish.
The sport.
Finish.
So anyway, I'll jump in now. I'll put it in. So the story, what I was going to say is, in regard to what you were saying about what kind of enjoyment you'll get from life and whatever measurements or metrics other people up, like followers, what have you. I had a really interesting conversation with, and again, here's a clip, JJ one time, and we were talking, we did the camping video, and I was talking to him about the fact I'd lived in the car in Australia and how much I love camping and doing all these things.
Oh, that's going right in the clip. That one.
That's going right up
So
my
anyway,
lungs, that one.
I was talking to. We've had a few beers, guys. Apologies. So yeah, I was talking to him regarding that, and I think like there was a good team and a bad team and whatever else. And I was telling him, mate, I would have been on either of these teams. I love camping so much. There's nothing I love waking up more. And like, go on.
What is this Sidemen go camping?
This was good camping v bad camping. I think that we had this conversation. No, it might have been. No. This was the first one. Yes, this was one.
The poo in the tent.
Yeah, the poo in the tent. Oh, mate. I filmed.
Don't tell me you took £1,000 fucking pounds to eat that shit.
No. I filmed him shitting on a shovel though. Yeah, we went out to the forest and I filmed him shit. That was the most surreal thing I've ever done because at that point, again, I hadn't had like me filming him with him solo ever. And the first thing we did, he went. So we walked off. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna throw poo in the tent." I was like, "Cool, well, let's go." And I was like, "So where are we gonna find poo?" Yeah. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna shit." I was like, "No, where are we gonna find poo?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna fucking shit. I'm gonna shit." And then he proceeded to squat on a fucking shovel and shit on it. And like, I've always thought that part of the reason they can't use the clip is because I am fucking dying, bro. I find that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I found that shit hilarious. He's just fucking.
Why couldn't they use it though?
Well,
surely
obviously
that's
YouTube.
funnier.
Yeah, obviously YouTube, isn't it? Like, you can't have someone shitting on YouTube.
But can't you blur it out? No.
Nah, at that point you got a bare arse. You got someone poop coming out of someone's butt. Like the idea is that
awkward, isn't it?
It was fake. Like most people thought it was fake. Like in the comments, everyone thought it was fake. He did shit on that. I should watch the shit fall out of his ass. But so we was having a discussion on that, and when this goes back to your point about like what's real and what's not, and what's an important metric of whatever, is I was saying to like and again I respect this point that he made because everyone's different strokes for different folks. Everyone has their own opinion. I said, mate, honestly. I wish that we had stayed here overnight. I would love that, and then I would have gone fucking jumped in the lake and gone swimming in the morning because I just love that kind of shit. Just because it's like it tests the mind or it does whatever. That's what I'm into. And he's like, nah, man. There's nothing I love more than being luxury. There's something being somewhere. I'm trying to think of the word ostentatious. Is that the word? Like about opulence. There's nothing more I love than opulence. Like he does just like being in a fucking sick place. Having a sick place, like everything's marble, you got all the great food and everything like that. And like maybe it's like, and again, like I think I'm a bit privileged in this sense. I went on cool holidays with my family when I was younger. My dad, was successful from coming from a bad background to the point where, I some really crazy experiences from a young age that most people won't get, and I'm very lucky to have had them. But maybe having had them when I was younger and being spoiled in that sense made me just not think like that's not what I wanted. We never went camping or did anything like that, and I've always found those because it's so real and so it's like it's nice to just cook a fucking bacon sarnie and then jump in a cold fucking river and go woo. That's fucking that's just like that's what I'm into. Like I love the more basic shit. I will never.
That takes a lot though. I think to say that now, especially like in these days, like to say like. You've had a privileged, and I'm sure like we all have. Like if you like look at the grand scheme of things, like we all have. Yeah. So like to say it nowadays,
on the camera, like, we're not rich kids.
No,
we're just somewhat middle class, and it's kind of both ends.
And nowadays, it's like coming out with that. It's like if you ain't had a struggle, then like it's not cool. Like I don't want to hear your story. Like you grew up in a house, like a nice house, blah blah blah. Like and like you got presents for Christmas. Oh, like what the fuck? Like you're privileged, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like you still have struggles. Like you like you say, like with like the expectation of you being in a certain path of life. That's a massive struggle. Yeah. Like it really is, and most people fall into the trap of.
Oh yeah, because your emotions are attached to your parents, right? And you don't want to let them down. You don't want to let them down.
Exactly,
it'll break your heart.
And that is a struggle in itself.
Yeah,
mate. Like so in terms of like. Oh, I lost the thread, lads. I'm sorry. I've lost the
camping.
No. I had a new thread, and I definitely.
I just want to point out, like this guy walked in here and said, "Guys, I'm in a bad way." That's the first thing he said, right?
Yeah, but that's that, mate. That's the zone.
No, that was from.
Look at the energy of this guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's
look at the energy of this guy.
Bro,
you see him on a bad day.
This is this is me. So do you know what it was?
So who are you on a good day?
I tell you what. So what it is that. When I am like, and everyone on the shoots comments this. Everyone else leaves the shoots and they're drained.
Yeah,
I'm gassed because that means like my favorite thing. So my thing when I actually found happiness was when I found out that responsibility was really fucking sick. I never took responsibility for anything I ever did. It's the Jordan Peterson shit. It's like make your own bed kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And like having achieved something for the day is my cocaine at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love the idea that I went and full sent, being as productive as possible, achieve something, and now it's done. I've earned my money for the day. And so that gives me some kind of mad buzz that no one else on set gets. I literally pack in the car, pack in the Uber, like, pack in whatever. Like, I am there just like singing and doing whatever, because I know that I'm just going to go out and just go do whatever, because now I get to celebrate. Like, every day is a mini celebration of what you've achieved, because at that point, it's like a microdose of celebrating your achievements.
You know what it's like? It's almost like you're actually very successful. You are. You may not measure it in the same way, or other people may not. But what you're going through is forget money. Ignore money for a second. Like, what you're going through is an insane.
Oh, mate, I'm in a dream state. I'm having a fever dream all the time.
All right. There is no way that this fella can go on feeling sad. I'm be serious. I'm talking to you as a pal, right?
Oh, I can. Do you know why I feel sad? Because I've got to fucking wake up and do 2 more shoots tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking gonna be hungover as fuck. But
no, but is that to the point you're getting used? Like, that's normal.
No, mate. And this is gonna sound lame to some people, but I think the key to my day is cold showers. I don't know if you do it, but cold showers.
No, Joe.
Wim Hof, baby.
I went through a stage of no masturbation.
Oh, fuck that shit. Yeah. What's that called? What's that called? What's the name for that?
Celibacy?
No fap.
No fap. Oh, no fap. Well, yeah, that's the loose term.
No, November. No, not November. That kind of shit. Yeah. Well, it gives you extra powers. Nah, man.
I tried.
I got to come, mate. I got to come. Yeah, I need to come.
But that was part of the other thing as well. Cold showers, but
no, cold showers. So, mate, honestly, like, so, and again, like, I don't want to, like, you can learn all this through Wim Hof. Wim Hof's the guy who like popularized the whole idea of like cold ice baths and like what's the fitness guy, Joe
Wicks.
Yeah, sorry. Here we go. So Joe Wicks is doing all these cold ice baths and shit. But a lot of this like influencers get into that. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it came out a lot of the Wim Hof stuff. He's the guy who climbed Everest in shorts. Like, he's swam in the Arctic and all this shit, and he's all about mind over matter shit. Yeah. And like, one thing that really got to me, and it's kind of related to the Jordan Peterson stuff, was if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is turn the shower to the ice cold, and you get in it and you stand there and you get to the point where you can control your breathing, the first thing you did in the day is you've achieved something. Is because and again, I've been doing it now for like a year and a half, or like maybe more, is like the last thing I want to do every morning when I wake up hungover, or I wake up tired, or I wake up just like my energy is gone, I turn on that fucking shower and I look at the water, and somehow I can see that fucking water's cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, fuck that. I don't want to get in there. But the second I set, so what I do is I turn some music on, I set a timer for 1 minute and 10 seconds. And I let the 10 seconds go down, and I know that by the 1, I have to be in the water, and then I stay in the water for a minute. And then by the time the minute's over, I have achieved something in the first 10 minutes of the day. So then it's just like, what else, how many other more achievements can I get? You've overcome something already.
Yeah,
and as well, this, mate, like the data behind what cold water showers and cold water exposure do for you is like nuts. So it's like your hair's great, your skin's great, your immune system's great. So there's all these other great parts of it. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Yeah. Like, I'm super into it, and that's that. But that's
I've tried that before.
It's full send.
I can see what you mean by the overcoming something, because I don't really have a routine with my work, like as in like I don't have a set time that I wake up every day. It's always different. But like for a small period, I was working local.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I don't.
Plumber.
Got you.
Yeah.
Big money, boy.
No, well.
Oh, come on. Plumber's good money.
It's good money.
JJ's house.
It's good money. It's the only reason I'm doing it.
It's honest living.
Yeah. But but I don't want to be a plumber forever. This is the problem.
Okay.
Well, or for very long.
Well, what do you want to do?
That's the problem. I don't know. That's the hardest thing. I don't know. I really don't know.
I genuinely think this guy wants to be a podcaster full time.
Oh, of course I do. But I know that like I wouldn't just quit it and do this because like. No. Well, I've got stuff. I've got like a house now. I've got like a girlfriend that like I can't just do shit like that.
This guy works hard. He'll get. See, this is one of. I don't say this to Zach. He's there, right?
God.
But he will voice note me at 5 a.m. He will reply to something I've said, like sort of the night before. So he'll go to sleep or whatever. He's playing it hard, right? I get the game. But he'll voice note me at like 5 a.m. Near enough 4 times a week. My girlfriend goes, "What the fuck was that?" Right? I've got her, a baby, me, and I'm like, It's Zach. I guarantee you, it's fucking Zach. It's always fucking Zach. 5 a.m.
You're fucking keen, lad.
I am
he
Roy
wakes
Keane.
up and he's obviously in the van or whatever, but he's thinking of the podcast at 5:30 a.m.
Oh yeah, I do want it to.
That's why I think this.
I don't know. I just feel like I always have to have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like where I don't want to do plumbing full time. I always have to have something. So like for a while throughout lockdown, I started selling fruit and veg. So I was getting up at like 5 in the morning. Oh, well, no, so I was getting up at like 2 in the morning, going and buy fruit and veg, then selling that. Like having a business there. I've had a clothing line with my mate. Didn't like a lot of failed businesses.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Same.
But it's still like it still gives me the worst thing that can come out of it is it was just an experience and a story.
Well, mate, look, at that point, like
you never stop giving up.
It's just you're just at that point where it's just going to happen because
That's
as long as you're
like.
full send all the time. But that's the other thing, right? My main principle when I started doing anything like this was, if I commit all of myself to it, I can at least die happy knowing I tried.
Yeah.
Because that's more. Most people die and they go like. There's a great documentary. Mate, this is mad because I've told this story to so many people. At this point, I don't even know if it's fucking true. But I remember watching a documentary when I was like 17, and it was about like assisted suicide. And they watched people. They talked to people who were going through it, and they would ask them questions regarding their life and what they'd regretted and whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing that they mainly came out with was that I wish I'd been riskier. I wish I'd tried more. I wish I didn't hate as much. They were the like 5 main principles that came out of it, and it scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because it was all the things that I was doing or what I was always doing, and I was just like, mate, and that's the main thing. And then it's again like it relates back to the Jordan Peterson stuff. You will feel fulfilled as long as you actually try. Like, as long as you actually give a fuck and try, and then that's it. As long as you can lay down in bed and go, I did try. Because you can't feel bad at that point. What else? You can't be harsh on yourself at that point.
I went through a stage where I've sort of lived on the incline at an early age, and so for me that was normal. So from an early age, I got that instant incline, right? So
incline of what? Sorry, I'm drunk now. Okay, go. Yeah.
I'm success. So by the age of like 22, I had my own house.
Oh yeah, you was out in Dubai at points as well,
I was
doing
like
mad
19,
shit. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So I inclined quickly, and so what I never expected was to lose it, and I didn't know how to feel. And so when I got to about 26, I lost everything. So from on the incline to fuck me, this geezer. So at the age of like 22, I was driving a Rolls Royce, right? But
I remember. Yep.
By the age of 25, I mean I never picked you up in it, but you remember.
No, I've heard the stories.
People
lads.
speak. People speak.
Know.
And so anyway, so the long story short is that I went for a stage where I lost everything. Right, it's only about 2.5 years ago. When this podcast happened, it went bad. Right, I lost.
Fuck's sake, Zach!
It's not Zach.
Jeez, that's bullshit. No,
what did you do, mate?
No, Zach, it was. Right, I kept it quiet.
What at the start of the podcast?
Yeah, mate, I lost everything, mate.
What? Wait, what happened?
I lost everything.
This is such a bad time to go for a piss as well.
Yeah.
Go on, send it. Go on.
In a nutshell,
I need to go as well. Shall we leave?
And then we'll all go. Right. In a nutshell, I lost everything I had.
Yeah,
Via what mechanism? What the fuck happened?
Over this podcast? No.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But go on,
I lost
what?
my house. I lost my car. I lost my fucking all my savings. I lost everything.
But why? How? What the fuck happened?
It's just
We need to know more.
it's family businesses. They
Oh
crash,
yes,
right?
yeah. I get what you mean.
But what happened on the other side of the story?
You
was
met me.
It's the same thing with this.
Calm down.
Boys.
You met me.
Seriously, for 1 second, right? But in this middle class shit that we're all going through,
Yeah.
I lost fucking everything, and I'm still losing stuff, right? But why are you laughing at this?
Why are you still losing it?
No,
There's more stuff to go.
In the middle of that.
You don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Mate, can you pan the camera at this
Go on.
right now?
There's no cameraman.
John, can you look at him like disgrace?
There's no. Come on, go.
Right, there's stuff that's still going on.
Yeah.
I just see it as it's just a thing now, right?
Yeah.
But I lost fucking everything, and my ego got wiped. I got wiped. Like, ego got wiped. You want to laugh?
No. Go on. I don't want to laugh.
We're getting derailed, lads. Go on.
Right. So the thing is, I lost everything, and my ego got wiped. All right,
Yeah,
you know
go
what?
on.
Fuck this guy.
Don't say it again. You've just
Like,
said that
this guy.
same sentence.
I'm loving this.
This is
because
like
of
when
this
you're hanging out
fucking
with a
thumbnail.
couple.
I am loving this clip right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I got wiped out big time, right?
Yeah.
We heard it.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, go on. Finish your point. You're giving me point constipation.
That is the
But
point.
what comes with being wiped out and being... Why are you still laughing, mate?
Lee, come on.
Right.
Go.
What comes with being wiped out and losing everything
Yes.
is there's a different person at the end of it.
Of course, yeah.
And that person comes back a lot stronger.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right? Trust me, when I say stronger, I am the best I've ever been. But I'm expecting that. But now I've adopted the attitude of when I went through the worst. So I basically went through this stage where I kind of I was probably a middle class little cunt. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got wiped out, and then I become a really desperate cunt. And then suddenly,
Maybe less of that.
it's fucked now, isn't it? Like it's the end of the relationship. But now this attitude of what I had and what I've now lost is completely different. Like I feel broke
Yeah, well, mate.
when
look,
everything's good.
when you're at bottom, where is there to go but up? That's the point, isn't it? That's
No,
sometimes
no,
you need
no,
to get to
but-
a fucked place, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but that's where I'm at. It's like I went up and I went rock bottom, and now I'm starting to go up higher than I was before, but I feel rock bottom.
Yeah, but you have a wider perspective as well. That's what's better.
I like who I've become, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but Zach is actually a big part of this. Like Zach come in when I lost it all, and I maintained it all. Stop looking at me with those eyes. But
He loves you, bro.
the
He loves you.
podcast was actually a big thing of actually just, yeah.
Oh, good.
I had insight when everything was fucking burning. The only thing I had was this podcast.
Oh yeah, well it's an event, isn't it? Like it's a good time to talk.
You
like,
can wipe your head, but
as long as you're being-
I'm being serious. Like,
As long as you're being
I
real.
want to tell you
As
as a
long as you're being
person
real. But
who's
in
got
the
a
meantime-
relationship.
In the meantime, on that note, because I feel like we're ending it. I've looked and I saw it's getting to 10.
Yeah.
The hour's getting late. I will leave you with a gift before I go.
I can't wait. Oh, he's lost it.
I don't actually have.
Oh, he's
clue what
lost
this
it.
is.
He's put the bag down for 1 second and he's lost the gift.
Oh shit! I might have, you know.
Oh, no.
What's in there?
Well, we'll take one of the other ones. What's this?
I don't get it.
Butter fist gel. Is that for fisting?
Yeah.
That's it.
Is it really?
I may have got that from a set today. I'm not going to reveal too many secrets, but you're going to see where that's come from.
Why, what's
That is fisting lube.
really?
That's fisting lube, yeah.
This is the weirdest fucking present, but I like.
I
the
feel
fact
like
that
it
you've gone
matches
out
your
way.
aura. I knew. I just
yeah.
feel
Yeah,
like it matched
definitely.
your podcast.
You've gone out the way for that. I really appreciate it.
no,
John.
come on, bro.
Thank you very
No,
much.
honestly, there's so much heart in this.
No, mate, come on.
It's the weirdest present, but
Why are you
it is,
sniffing it?
I was wondering if it was fisting
It's not
gel
been in an
rubber.
anus already, bro. You're not going to get anything from it.
yeah.
That is, like, look how wet that is. Oh, it's not that wet.
Yeah, because, well, it's fisting
I know
lube,
it
isn't it?
Oh.
It's fisting
Look at
lube.
that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that was a thing.
Do you want to nail any clips before we go for a piss?
I've just got. Let me just ask you one thing. Just we had a question from one of the followers, Pretty Boy Fab7. He says, "What's the funniest moment off camera you remember when filming?"
Off camera?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay. Oh, shit. Well, that's weird. Like, the on-camera moments I end up remembering more because I watch them back. Like, if I... Like, this is going to seem... I don't know if this seems lame to people, but I watch every Sidemen video.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in how much my angle is used, because then it can give me a kind of indication of how good what I shot
Yeah,
was,
of course.
essentially. Or
Yeah.
even, like, I can learn from what I did.
Yeah.
I think it's valuable. You should watch your shit back.
Definitely.
And but I don't get. So the problem is I don't get the footage like before it comes out. That's the other thing. If I got to keep hold of my camera and my card, I would just watch it back straight away to
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
good or bad. Now that I'm directing my own shit, I get to do that on the day, and I don't sometimes watch the video when it comes out. But on Sidemen videos, I have to wait till the actual
Yeah,
video
yeah.
comes out. But I've got a lot of good on camera ones. Best off camera moment. Damn, man. Shit.
Like, is there anything that's like? Well, I mean, the JJ one.
Yeah, it must be
Gotta be up
the
there.
shitting on the shovel's fucking great. Yeah, I'd say it has to be the shitting on the shovel because it's one thing that I shared with him, which again is he's a person of massive significance to a lot of people.
Yeah, and you've just seen him
I've
shit
seen
on
him
a
shit on a shovel. But no, mate, they're like generally we were always having like fun, like but as well like the crew's really fun as well.
Yeah.
Like we all try and bring as much energy as we can, like off camera, and just try and hype each other up. And that's the thing. I like my favorite thing about like being as responsible for myself is that you can try and promote happiness to or like build everyone around you with confidence.
Yeah.
Like you need to be the strongest person you can so that you can hype all your boys up. And then if you have a community of people like that, you ain't gonna fucking lose. That's
Have you ever been in a position where your talent, let's say, right, has been in a shit fucking way? But is
this your question, by the way? That you said you were gonna have?
I've got more questions, but
well,
there was questions on the podcast that I fucking forgot, but.
We'll do a part 2. I'm happy. This has been really good. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah,
is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
So, has there been times where your talent, because that's how you kind of address the situation, right? That has come in a bad way, but you've given the old jab, like, bang, like, are you personally responsible for getting them up in some way?
What, my own talents?
If they've had bad day, yeah.
Oh, getting the talent up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, like that's the thing. Like I'm like so to a degree. Like it depends what role you're talking about. If you're a director, your role is to work
as a person. It doesn't matter what role you are.
It to a degree.
You as an influence of the team, right?
As an influence of the team, yeah. For the team, I'm always like trying to build up everyone. Like, mate, I call everyone handsome. I'm calling everyone a cutie. I'm always just there like,
charmer, isn't he?
Come on, yeah. I love it because I want treat other people like you want to be treated. I want to be called handsome sometimes. I want to be someone say, hey babes, it's nice, isn't it? So yeah. So fuck it.
I love it.
Mate, my favourite one is at the moment love. I love changing it around and bringing new words in. I just go, all right, I love like just because as well people go
and they notice it as well.
Yeah, because
right?
they'll go what and they go oh, well, fine. I suppose
your banner's great.
Yeah, you gotta try. But no, when it comes to like talent, like it depends where you're at. Like because in that point, I'm not trying to take away from you. As a crew, yeah, just do it to everyone. But if you are the director, or if you are the main guy in charge of all the cameras, then fuck yeah, like it is your job to try and hype everyone up and get the energy going. But if you're just the secondary guy, you more hype the director up so that he can get there.
Yeah.
Or he or she. Like it's important. I've worked with female directors as well. But yeah, it's just what it is. Like whatever point in the mechanism I'm at, that's where I'm gonna fucking bring the energy. Where it's needed. Because I as well, I appreciate hierarchy based on respect. So if everyone's got to everyone at the hierarchy that I'm in is at the point that they're at because they've earned the reputation and whatever. That's where I'll deliver it where it's needed or where it's meant to be going. I'm not going to usurp someone's fucking level.
I've got an extra question.
Last
one. Go on.
I've got just two of them.
Do you want to do a cut and go for a piss and then come back?
Yeah.
Right. So if
Quick
you're not involved with the Patreon,
he don't like cutting.
No. I'll tell you what.
I need to piss, bruv. So let's do a cut.
Right. If you're not involved with the Patreon, you get involved now because it's where Zach.
What?
Where's the information to the Patreon? It's
go on, John. You go. I'll tell him. I do need to go.
Okay. Where am I going? Can I just piss outside or am I going in the house?
Just piss on the fucking car. It's fine. Right. So I forgot the Patreon name. What's the Patreon name? No, Zach.
No, you can work it out.
I believe it's at Lemon Squeezes Pod. If you go to our account, everything's there, and this is a massive balls up for me. I love you, Kim. I love you, fucking Rob Hay, and I love you, James. This guy's the next guest on your podcast. I'm just saying. So we'll see you another time.
Right, people. I don't know where we left off there. We had to do a quick cut because Lee hit the stop button in a panic. But
we ruined it. We both went for a slash.
Yeah, but it was a quick one,
mate.
Oh no, mate! The Nile came out of my cock, mate. It was fucking
and someone was playing trumpets out there as well.
Yeah, it was Zach.
But yeah, people, if you've enjoyed the podcast and you know where to find more from us, it is www.patreon.com/lemon squeezes, and for just £5 a month you can join the Illuminati and get a lot more content, see a lot more from us. We might even do a little Patreon with John, who knows. Get over there. All right.
What a guest.
The best guest we've had, and the only guest we've had who's like outside of our immediate friendship circle.
You're an impressive person.
You are.
Oh, lads.
I mean that
again,
in a
like
humble
you.
way. I mean that in like just take it the humble way. You are an impressive person.
No, but mate, you both sincerely do need to know that the reason that I became more like, oh fuck, I can do more shit like this is I saw that you guys did a podcast. Sincerely.
Oh. We're all going to be fucking sobbing.
This guy is going to be...
we're not going to fuck. That's why I brought the fucking fist in, Luke. What are you fucking talking about?
And
this guy is going to be
here a lot for that. Genuinely.
This guy is going to be here a lot, and I really appreciate him as a guest. And John, it's been
Yeah.
No problem,
Yeah,
boys.
really nice.
Thanks for having me on,
And just
boys.
remember, people,
Fantastic.
if you're offended by anything we said on the podcast,
Fuck you.
You're in the right place.
in the wrong fucking mood.
Thank you very
Like
much.
that thing.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, follow these guys. If they keep the consistency up and they keep fucking sending it, then there's no reason not to stick around because they're going to talk about what they want to talk about. I think they've got valuable perspective. So let's go.
Boom.
Boom.